Life is gonna be as beautiful as you make it, King. Right? You don't put that work in, it's gonna fall apart. You put that work in, it's gonna grow.
Amen.
That's how that life is gonna be as beautiful as you make it, King. Right?
Amen.
You don't put that work in, it's gonna fall apart. You put that work in, it's gonna grow.
Why you just repeat that, Jamie, with your lips weren't even moving?
Hey, you like that, didn't you?
Hell no, I didn't like that.
You didn't like the way I did that?
No, bro.
Hey, so what y'all, how y'all doing, family? Y'all can hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got you loud and clear, baby.
Thank you.
Can you enlarge that though?
Damn, what I do?
You do, let me see.
Did I mess it up?
No, it was large. It was enlarged. It was large.
I thought it was.
It was.
Okay, I just gotta turn it. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, family. Peace to the family. Hey,
peace.
Bam. Let me start off with
it. There has to be a change, and a better world has to be
Start
built.
it over.
The only way it's going to be built is with extreme. There's got to be a change. People in power have misused it, and now there has to be a change, and a better world has to be built, and the only way it's going to be built is with extreme methods.
So what you and I have got to do is get involved. You and I have to be right there breathing down their throat. Every time they look over their shoulder, we want them to see us.
Revolution.
What is it revolting against? The power structure. The American power structure? No. The French power structure? No. The English power structure? No. Then what power structure? An international Western power structure.
Every time I turn on the news, it gets depressing. Watch the news, it gets, man, come on. Y'all know what this is for real. It's time to wise up. Time to hold yours. Word up. No time for giving up. Word up. We gotta take control of our own community.
Yeah.
That's word.
Facing the facts, facing the politics, facing the situation.
We only spitting hard rhymes for hard times.
Yeah. Sankofa 180. We back again.
I'll be the speaker of the house like Nancy Pelosi. The challenges we facing on the world is this. Thanks for telling governments to do that and do this. No one's taking a true risk. No one's the loser. We need to do trade with Cuba. Open up the borders all the way to Aruba. Give tax breaks for all teachers and tutors. Cats don't like how the teacher be talking. Cause cats don't walk where the teacher be walking. Love and develop yourself. That spells lady. I teach it to young girls and women go crazy. Philosopher, criticism don't faze me. I walk in the truth even the wind obeys me. Standing with a protest sign, free Haiti. My rhyme the mind like the 380. I made $1 million last year, didn't change me. I make money, man, the money does not make me.
It won't make you.
Popularity just heightened, cause KRS-One enlightens. I go off the top
Sankofa 180.
what I'm writing. I write 3 books for your mind to enlighten. Stop the violence so we can stop fighting. If you're part of this movement, don't just be websiting. Volunteer somewhere where people just might win. And just need a little help, support from the right friend. Alright then, it ain't about stupid white men. When blacks, Latinos, and Asians act just like them.
Let's get it.
KRS-One, I got the style from DMC. I take it all the way back to 83. But right now, KP gonna drop the chorus for me.
And it goes, and it goes.
Revolution, revolution, that's the
Revolution, revolution.
Revolution, that's the only solution.
Revolution, revolution.
That's the only solution. Revolution, revolution, that's the only solution. Revolution, revolution, that's the hard times.
Sankofa 180, baby.
That's the only solution. Revolution, revolution, that's the hard times.
You know what time it is.
Revolution, that's the only solution. Illuminati this, Bilderberg that. The white owl on the dollar goes way back. If the
Yes.
proof match the truth, I say that. And the
Okay.
truth is that we in a debt we can never pay back. So to
right.
balance the budget, we can never say that. When the law is on the floor and the justice lays back, there's the Maybach though, giving us hope. When the Mercedes Corporation is trying to stay afloat, the whole
Facts.
thing's a joke and falling apart. The only
Facts.
institution you can really trust is art. And with
Okay.
art, you can start up a civilization. We already worldwide, man, so why are we waiting? Hip hop is the spot where that money be making. And if we unite tonight, we can start up a nation. Get free from the greed in the heart of this nation and create our own nation from the words that I'm stating. Hip hop, make noise if you part of this nation. And you ain't.
Sankofa 180, baby. That's how we do. That's how we open it up, huh? Let's get it.
Let's get it. Let's get it.
Peace,
Go ahead,
family.
Jamie.
Peace, family. How y'all doing, man? This is Sankofa 180 degrees. We back at y'all once again, man.
Back
Son-
at it.
Video ain't on.
Yeah.
Tell them on. Tell them
Yeah.
on.
Hey, but anyways, man. Hey, how y'all doing, brothers? Hey, man, I love you, brothers, man. Kick Miss Carrie, peace to you, Queen.
Thank you. I love you guys.
Yes, ma'am. Hey, listen, man. So listen, family, we back at y'all again. I just wanted to let the brothers go ahead and talk about it, man. Who are you?
Yeah. Go ahead, Prince. Jump in, babe.
Hey, you know who I am. This is Prince, baby. Big Prince, the Don, huh? Conflict, resolution, revolution, all that good stuff. Sankofa 180, we back again. So let's get it. Happy Sunday.
Oh man. Gary, you want to say anything?
Just welcome. I'm glad you guys are here. Love you, and I look forward to this presentation because I remain teachable.
Amen.
That's
Amen.
We're gonna bang on that wicked ass beast daily. That's from Seti. Hey,
That's it too.
Right. That's Gary's cue. So I'm gonna show one video from Sinetta TV. You know, I learned a lot from Sinetta TV. You know, he's been in the game a long time, man, and he has a lot of good teachings on there. So you know, you can connect with that and learn some shit too. And you know, come back and share. We want to use etiquette on this one, right? So you know, just no jumping in and just speaking. You know, we take one at a time and value each other's personal shares. And we'll make sure we get to everybody to share. I'm gonna bang through a couple videos and then we'll stop. And I'm gonna bang through a couple more and we'll stop. And then I'll bang through the last two, right? So it's about 45 minutes of a collabo of videos. And so have your pen and your paper ready if you need to. You can always go back to the video on Sankofa and on YouTube and watch it. But I think you're gonna have questions and it's gonna be hard to resist jumping in.
Oh,
So
I'm jumping in. I'm jumping in. I'm jumping in. I'm doing it.
I know I got the mute button on your ass, so don't lose
I'm following no rules.
Jamie, you got that?
No, I missed it, man. What happened? Sorry.
I said we got the mute button for motherfuckers to just jump in.
Yeah. I know how to get that. You know, we can tame that. We can
All I
tame
can
all
say
that.
is be quick.
Prince ain't
Be
gonna be able
quick.
to help himself, man. So you know, keep that mute button handy, right? Because it's gonna be some tight messages, man. So you know, I want to keep this one really etiquette and we would try to keep our language, you know, appropriate for, you know, Queen Umayyah and the ladies and shit like that. But it's gonna be difficult.
Children. And the kids.
And the children, but it's gonna be difficult because I'm gonna show some hot shit. So
hey, man, listen here, man. Look here, man. You know how we get out, man.
I would like to say something. Speak on the queen who's not here. You always open up with that as well. So give a shout out to her. Hope she's doing better. You ain't give an update on her. So
yeah. She sent the update. You know, she said she's just healing, taking her time, and she's doing well. So you know, we welcome you back when you come back, Queen. You might just keep healing. And I sent Erica a message, and he's probably at work, but he'll probably jump on a little late.
That's right. Hey, peace to you, Queen. And we definitely, you know, wishing you a speedy recovery. We love you. We miss you. Come on back. Hey, you know what I mean, as soon as possible, rest up, get everything back together, man. And we like I said, we miss you, man. And get well really, really soon.
Yeah, I miss my partner. I ain't got nobody to really debate with, argue with. Miss my girl, man. Can't wait till you get back.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
she
And
be
he also,
cause she be cracking your head. That's what she be doing.
That's all right. She a queen. She can do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, she be cracking your head. Whether
She can do that.
yeah. The information. We dealing with information. It don't matter whether she a queen or not. The information
Like I said,
cracking your head. I said
crack
cracking your
your head.
damn head. Cracking your damn head.
That's
That's what
all
she,
right.
you
That's
know what
all
I
right.
mean?
Yeah.
yeah, we know that Jennifer been traveling too. So, big ups to Jennifer and Queen Becky. We love you and thank you for all the support on Sankofa with the herbals and I'm gonna have to try that. I already got the ingredients for that that sober, right? That strawberry, lemon, and papaya sober.
Sorbet.
Yeah.
Sorbet.
Yeah, sorbet.
I know what it
sorbet.
is, Carrie.
Hey
I
man,
knew you
look,
was gonna
yeah,
jump
but it's
in.
Sir Bert.
Sorbet.
Yeah, that's how I
Sir
say it too,
Bert.
though. Sometimes
Sir
too, like
Bert.
look at man, that's Sir Bert. Yeah,
No, it
now
ain't
they
Sir
had some
Bert.
damn
It's
sorbet. If
sorbet.
it had a sorbet, it'd have an A at the end. We
It
ain't
ain't
gonna
got
go
no
with that.
damn A at the end.
But I'm gonna tell you something. That's why the English language is the garbage can of all languages.
Lord have mercy.
So
Now
I
we're
be trying
going
to
on the
switch
English
that shit
language.
up. But
It's the
Carrie be
garbage
correcting
can
me.
of all languages. You don't have one word that come from America. All of them come from Latin, Greek, or somewhere else. Ain't none of them come from here. So you tell me what kind of language this is.
God bless America.
Yeah,
Mute
he
that
showed
nigga.
he showed didn't he, man? He showed blessed it too, didn't he, man?
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So
Hey,
we
but
got the you want to introduce the children's deal?
yeah, so family, yeah, we got a every Sunday, first Sunday every month, we got the children's book read come up. You know what I'm saying? Every Sunday, every first Sunday of the month, right? And this is for the this is for just to keep our history going, man, because people, I don't know if y'all understand or not, or if your state is doing it yet, but here in Florida, you know they don't want Black African history taught, right? So we can learn every other history except our own. And so I think it's really, really important that we take charge of that and teach real history, right? And so we got some really, really good books. And so what this includes is, at the end of every book read, you can then put the child can put themselves into the chat, right? And then you can win a free book. And these free books are really good books, man. I mean, they're not cheap books. You know what I mean? They're real history, real times, real people. You know what I mean? In Africa, showing kings and queens and different accomplishments that was made, that we made, you know what I mean, way before slavery. You know what I'm saying? So it's very important, very, very important. Please just pay attention. You can read, like I said, you can win a free book. Doesn't cost you nothing. All we need is the address. We're gonna send it right to you. Right. The last winner is Gigi, my granddaughter. She's 5 years old. She won a book. Um, it's on its way out. They should have it any day now. Uh, um, but yeah, she won the book. She won the last book, so she'll be doing the next book read this next book, this next first Sunday. All right. But so stay tuned to that, family. Like I said, she's 5 years old. She's reading one of the principles of my aunt. Um, and just pay attention, man. She's, like I said, she's 5 years old, and she's gonna be doing a book read for us. So this is where we are, family. We just trying to keep up with the history, teach history, and you know, and that's just not just, you know, and that's for everybody, for grown-ups, kids, uh, we even got books for we 12, 13, 14, 15. We got those books. Okay. We got those books, and they're short books where you're able to read the story. Right. So just stay tuned, family. I done took enough time. Uh Peace to everybody. What do whatever you do, King.
Yes, I just wanted to tap into that Gigi's reading next week, man. That's a 5-year-old girl, man. You know, and she gonna be reading, man, reading our history. So, you know, you take that really serious. And then you can sleep on it if you want to. I also want to reference Jamie's presentation last week. He highlighted some very important information. You can sleep on it if you want to. It's coming. It's already here. So, you know, pay attention. Go back and check out that video. I think Prince is going to present next week. Prince, you present next week?
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah. Prince got next week, man. You know, and Prince always got a powerful build, man. Always got an interesting, powerful build, man. I haven't been disappointed yet. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm gonna just let you know, man, that the brother, you know, hey, that, you know, he's the life of the party, but he also, you know, my man got some, you know, he got some nice points and nice, you know, uh, presentations.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate
Hey,
that.
hey, Prince, put a plug in, put a plug in for your joint, man, that we're gonna go live on.
Okay. Well, you know,
Where your camera
Sunday.
at,
I mean,
where your camera at?
I'm sorry. I got some things going on. Tuesday coming up. I got a live performance going on, 7-minute presentation. I say performance, comedy. So yeah, I know, right? But I'm excited about it. I've been told so many years that give it a shot, do it, and I'm just, you know, I'm getting to the point where I'm like, hey, if I never do it, I never say I did it, and I would have been good at it. So I'm just gonna grab my cojones and be me and do the best I can, people. So I would definitely give a shout out on Sankofa to let it be known then. And we're gonna try to work it so we can go live and really just put me on the map. So get ready, baby. Get ready, baby. All right.
Right. Yeah. So Prince is gonna be presenting next weekend. You know, for me, you know, his stuff is challenging. So, you know, but it's interesting, really interesting, and he does a really good job.
Oh yeah.
So,
Oh yeah.
you know,
And I promise this my next presentation, it will have pinpoints and it will have the source where you can go search it yourself and check it out. I guarantee you that. This one thing I would say about being on this show, I've had to grow and learn about not just saying well, my perspective on how I feel information comes from. So a lot of people have to have a source to it, but in my own perspective, I say that source changes daily. Things just change. So on a perspective point, but I have to get the source so you can go and look it up and see for yourself on your own feelings of how you perceive it, your perception of it. So that's what I'm learning from here. It's just not always my perception of things. People take in information and they perceive it differently. So that's the reason why I have to get the source to where I gather my information. And I appreciate my brothers telling me that, and it has put me in a growth position, and I like it. So again, I thank you guys for always telling me that and making me go research my stuff. So yeah, I probably appreciate it.
my man. Yeah, so that's going to be interesting, and I look forward to it. We're also going to be we're trying to put together and decide, you know, the format we're going to use for reading The Destruction of a Black Civilization by Chancellor Williams. If you can get the book, get the book. If you don't, if you can't get it and don't have it, don't worry about it. we got it covered with our readings, and it'll be plain reading, and once again, Prince is a awesome reader, and Jamie and Carrie and me, man, I just be putting my own shit. No, not really. So there we go. So let's get this thing started.
Let's do it. Let's get it.
And so
Hey,
remember,
hold on. Hey,
everybody,
1 second, King. Let me see something, man. Hey, back the camera up a little bit, King.
no,
Hey,
that
man,
ain't the same.
wait, man. What's going on here, man? Where you get that from, King? You think you gonna sneak that in and think I ain't gonna say nothing about that?
Gary got that for me. Gary got that.
Hey, I like that, man. That's slick right there, King.
Yeah, she likes me black, man, so she keep me black, right?
Hey, that's what's happening right there, man.
Yeah.
Man. I like that. Okay, yeah, okay. I just
Yeah.
wanted to see you just ain't gonna say nothing, huh? Just think you just gonna slip that in like I ain't gonna see it. You thought I wasn't gonna see that?
Hey, Prince be on me because my background ain't right. But when I get that computer pumped up, wait till I get that computer pumped up, man. It's gonna be live in a 3D effect on your ass.
I'm just saying, man. You thought you was just gonna be able to come on, King. You know what, man? That like you, it ain't gonna be much. You gonna be able to get past me, all right,
I
man.
already know, man. I
All
already
right.
know.
And now you might get a few things past me, man. You know what I mean? But if I ain't paying attention, but if I'm paying attention, you ain't gonna get it. Hey,
You
Prince. Hey, Prince. Hey, man.
What's up, baby?
Shut up. All right, man. Hey, I'm ready.
So everybody, mute the mic. Mute the mic. I'm gonna give time to talk, and write down your stuff if you need to, so you don't use the excuse to I forgot and shit like that. So let me. Hey man, we gotta keep it 100, man. So let's let me share the screen and get this joint started.
Hey, you ever wonder what a billionaire would do if he had to start over from scratch? If it was the Petitas or Mark Cuban or Oprah, what would they do? Ask me what I would do.
Can y'all hear that?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, bet.
And their self and their abilities to create. Science is the statement we are gods is the statement we are gods being prideful and arrogant. So often in the conscious community, we hear people shout the idea that we are gods. That seems really arrogant and prideful. And that's a no-no for anybody raised with Christian beliefs. That's enough to get you sent to hell with gasoline draws on. But the truth is, it is ancient African philosophy and upon analysis, very logical. I'm going to teach you the science behind the idea so that you understand it to the depth of your soul and not just words that you mouth with no knowledge. Say it to yourself. I am God, goddess.
I am God.
Does it make you feel kind of queasy to make that statement? Be honest. If it is, it's because the Christian conditioning and their idea of God is ingrained in you. You are mentally still Christian. The Christian view of God is truly one based in ignorance of the African science that the idea originated from. Why is it even important to understand the difference? Because the Christian view of God keeps believers around the world in mental bondage and poverty. Case in point, over 400 million believers of the African diaspora worldwide live in poverty. 400 million! Is this just coincidence? No, it's one of the underlying symptoms of not understanding that they are gods and having confidence in their self and their abilities to create. The major difference between the Christian religion and the Kemetic spiritual system is the idea of having a relationship to God rather than recognizing your own divinity. If you have a relationship to God like Christianity teaches, then saying I am a god or goddess is prideful because you are saying you are equal to the superhuman-like being that you worship. Christianity teaches pride as one of the 7 deadly sins. Now, it's not even biblical. They just inserted the doctrine for what amounts to mind control. But the very logical way the ancient Africans thought was that a human being is the ultimate expression and extension of all the elements that make up the universe. They call these natural components netter. Every component that makes up the universe is part of you. From the African perspective, you are netter, or nature, expressed as a human being, just like a tree is, or a river, a bird, an insect, or the sun. All of these are natural
And make sure everybody's mic is mute.
expressions of nature. Is it prideful to consider yourself a part of nature? Of course not. The African proverb, know thyself and you will know the netters, is profound. From that perspective, it's not being prideful. It's an understanding of your place in the universe and how you fit in it. Most indigenous cultures have the same belief about where nature fits with God. It's why they were so respectful of nature. When you know how to access the netters within, you become a powerful aspect of creation and a creator of your own life. You will have the ability to become superhuman. You are netter. Every aspect of nature is in you. Our modern idea of God is a misapplication of the African scientific understanding of the workings of the universe. It's a misapplication of African spirituality and science. Why is understanding yourself as netter as opposed to God important? Because you then have a foundation of building confidence in who you are rather than trying to placate that big, angry, jealous psychotic in the sky, hoping you can gain favor from him. Yes, I said psychotic. I know that sounds disrespectful, but the truth is when you describe all the ideas that people have of this human-like God, angry, jealous, vengeful, merciful, loving, etc., he sounds psychotic. As Christians, we were taught to accept ideas of being broken, unworthy, nothing compared to God, and in need of a Savior because of our sinful condition. But in reality, you don't have to compare yourself to God because you are God expressed as human form. Let me express this in an analogy, the logical way ancient Africans viewed themselves in relation to God. This thought process enabled them to build pyramids that cannot be equaled in modern times. So there has to be something to it. In the ancient African way of thinking, God is an ocean. You are a drop in that ocean. The only difference between the drop and the ocean is the magnitude. Just like the drop in the ocean, the only difference between you and God is the magnitude, not the substance. That's the ancient African way of thinking. It's a logical progression. That makes sense, doesn't it? I hope so. With the Christian way of thinking, the drop in the ocean is somehow different from the ocean. You know yourself, that's absurd. It's time to stop praying to God and recognize yourself as netter and creator. In this way, you access to God within you. Those who cultivate a relationship to God will remain in poverty because your self-confidence will always be under attack with ideas of being broken and unworthy. You will have that Christian conflict going on in your mind. You are netter, human form. It's not prideful to recognize this. It's prudent in today's world. That's the ancient African spiritual science way. In my new e-course, I go deeper and give you the science of prayer and what it is and how you pray as netter rather than to God in hopes he will swoop down and save you. It's time for us to become a spiritual scientist in order to change ourselves and then change the world. You can't do that living in ignorance, believing superstitiously with a Christian mentality. The spiritual science truth is more powerful than the lie. Know thyself and you will know netter. Not God, netter. This is Reginald Kuakaru signing off. Subscribe to this channel for more knowledge and information.
All right, so hold up on the comments. Let me get this next one.
I seen the brother Andre, man. He jumped off.
Did he?
Yeah, he jumped on and he jumped back off. He might jump back on, man. I'm gonna see.
Yeah, that's cool.
All right.
Hold on, let me get this. Dang it.
There's one simple hearing hack anyone.
You're the person with the gun, the person who would do anything to protect the ones you love. But did you know that you could go to jail?
He's everybody that want to be everything but. Now, you know, Professor, I'm always faced with these so-called indigenous people, these Moors, these everybody that want to be everything but black. They always say, when I say we African, man, that's named after a white man. Why are you calling yourself after a white man? What do you say to that? I need to learn something so I can pick up on that.
First, stop engaging in those arguments no matter what they say, because they're foolish, childish arguments. They're what immature people argue about. The word Moor is a Roman word for black. The word black is an English word for black. African is an African word. It comes from the Afri people who lived in what was then Tunisia. They now live in places like Niger, Mali, and Senegal, and they call themselves Afri. That was one of the many ethnic names. The Romans' acronym for land is Ka. It is in the Roman literature that we see the word for the first time, that I'm going to Afri land, I'm going to Africa, where the Morush lives, where the blacks live. That's all they were saying. So if people ain't studying Roman literature, and they're going to have a conversation with somebody named Leo Africanus, first of all, that person named Leo Africanus, that's not the name at all. There was a Roman general who defeated Hannibal, and you take the name of the people you defeat. So he defeated the Africans, so he took the name and said, I'm the Africanus, because I've conquered you and I've conquered your land. His brother conquered Asia and took the name Asia. Is Asia a European word? No. His brother called himself Asia because he conquered a certain portion of Asia. So history best informs us not to engage in foolish conversation. The people who call themselves Moors, if they want to use the ancient European, Moors is the English corruption of Morush, which is the Spanish corruption of Morish, which is the Roman corruption of Merosh, which is the Greek word for black. Okay, so let them go on back. They like to talk about word and what's that word, philology and all this other stuff. Follow the word back, and they know what the word means. People are playing game for the sake of positioning like on a chessboard, right? You won't find anybody living in North Africa calling themselves Moors. White people in America in the 1800s, when they started referring to the Moors, they weren't referring to black people, they were referring to Eastern European Turks who had taken over the empire in the 10th century. They were running North Africa when the American Marines first invaded it. Okay? When they named that bird over here a turkey, all right? Remember, the bird is what? A black bird with a red turban. Hello? So we're going to call ourselves Turks, all right? They named the bird a turkey, because it's a black bird with a red turban. When the Americans got there, the people who was fighting in the Turkish army kicking their ass was the black folks who these other brothers are now calling Moors, who never called themselves Moors. That's what outsiders call them. They call themselves Gudamas or Afriye, okay? The Afriye or the Gudamas, and they had a couple of other ethnic names, but Gudamas is the largest ethnic group, and Afriye was the original ethnic group. So we just need to do some real serious study and not be afraid of truth. truth may take away all of the shit you thought you once knew. You know? I mean, I thought Islam was an Arab thing, and I was, Salam Alaikum, I was trying to be an Arab. I changed my name to Amin, Shahid. And then I found out Muhammad's mama was black. His grandma was black, rather. And once your grandma black, your mama black. So I go like, they stole my shit. I'm not borrowing theirs, you know? And the reason they don't want any pictures of Muhammad, because they'd have to put a picture of a black man up. And the racist white Turks and Eastern Europeans and Greeks and Romans who we're calling Arabs are just what I just call them. Racist white Eastern European descendant of the Greeks and Romans who we're calling Arabs. Yes, they got some of our blood because they raped enough of our women to get that blood. But let's not get stuff like Bobby Humphrey like to say, is like, let's not get things mixed up. You know, let's not get things crossed. Let's deal with historical reality.
Hey, hold up just 1 second. Okay, so we can, let me stop sharing real quick.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah. So let me stop sharing real quick.
All right, yeah. I just want to say that was Sarnetta Studios family, from Sarnetta, the House of Consciousness. Family, definitely go over there and check it out. The man got hundreds of videos. He does live streams all the time. Hey, top notch scholars. Hey, listen, man, hell of a channel, man. Hey, never a boring stream. So just go, you know, just wanted to give that shout out to Sarnetta Studios. You know, that's who it's from, man. That was a video off of his channel. Hey, and like I said, family, hey, go over there, check him out, man. He's got the Sarnetta Studios. He got the House of Consciousness.
Toughest environment to go and debate in.
I tell you what, man, the toughest environment to be in. It really is, family. Check it out, man. Anyway, go ahead, family.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna open it up for a minute, a short time to if anybody wants to comment, then we're gonna jump on these next.
Oh yeah.
Anybody?
All right. So listen, man. So you know, when you get down to the Netchers, King, this is what I'm talking about when he was talking about Atum. Remember when he went towards the beginning of the first one, he was talking about Atum, right? Which, like I said, people be talking about that's a God. It's a universal. You know, it represents universal law. You see how that works. So it you know how people look at all the Netchers and say that these are all the different gods that you represented, but no, man, these figures or whatever you want to call it are teaching tools, man. These are teaching tools, right? To showing you that Atum, like he said, man, it's a universal law, right? Is that what it said?
Yep.
Yeah, right. So I'm just saying, man, when you like that's showing you what the Netchers meant, man. It wasn't that you worship all these different gods. It's just nature. You're worshiping nature. You're you know, you keep paying reverence to nature. You know, you're giving reverence to nature, man. It's like, what else you gonna do, man? That's the only thing that's keeping you alive is nature, man. I mean, without the sun, what's gonna happen? You're gonna die. Without air, you're gonna die. Without water, you're gonna die. Right? I mean, period. It's just facts, right?
Facts.
So it's just nature, and there's a nature associated with each one of those elements, right?
In nature.
And but it's nature.
Mute your mic, Prince.
But it's nature though, right? But
Brunette.
right, you're right though, King. But it's nature, right? And then when he said, know thyself, man, it's not to listen, man, that's tough, But yeah, go ahead. That's all I got, man. Y'all go ahead with, professors, the professor, man, he, I like when he put it down too, man, about you know people being confused to who they are, man. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that was pretty deep, man. That was pretty deep.
They confused to who they are, man. Like Moors and all these, you a Moor, no, you a Hebrew Israelite, you know what I mean? Yeah, you are
Right,
African,
right,
you know what I
right.
mean? Like, listen, man. See, that's that separation. That's that separation, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what that is. That's that separation. And it's gonna happen like that, man. As long as people keep on, going with these religions, man, it's gonna always be a
Right.
divide, man. It's gonna always be a
Right.
divide. But go
Right.
ahead, King. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Prince. It's on you.
I ain't had nothing to say, man. I was just agreeing with him. We can't talk when he's talking or something.
No, mute your mic. Mute your mic.
I ain't moving my mic. I'm gonna comment why he talking.
Mute his
point.
mic, Jamie.
It was good points. It was good points on everything, man. I love both presentations, though. I thought they were both nice.
Yeah, we got some more for you. So I got one for the Netchers too. So it's coming up. It's coming up. We'll see where it's at. Carrie? Carrie, you good? She told me a few weeks ago to quit that shit. So
I am good. Thank you.
okay.
He ain't listening, Carrie.
Yeah, I'm listening. I'm still giving her big ups though. And I give her the opportunity.
She done told you, okay.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. Why you still trying to act like he listening? He ain't listening.
Hey, you leave my shit alone, man. All right, let's get to the next one.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And I encourage people to go back and view these, man. I can send them to the attendees, and you can have them, individually. But there's a lot in these, man. And if you just sleep on it, you're gonna miss the whole mark, man. And so, I've watched it a few times, and I'm gonna watch it a few more. And big ups to Sinetta, man. Thank you, man. Peace, King.
Nice house.
Amazon paid for all of this.
How?
This crazy loophole that anybody can discover on Amazon. If you got 60 seconds.
Existence. The nun, nunette, the ha, het.
Hey, this is a channel that King Eric likes, 7.
Everything that is written, carved on the Shabaka stone is what we teach in our science classes today. What is important is how encompassing this story is on the Shabaka stone. And as we move through this process, we look at the second philosophy, which is the essences of pre-existing order and arrangement, where the Shabaka stone and our ancestors spoke about the early formers of all of the molecules and all of the atoms coming into existence. The nun, nunette, the ha, het, the kak, kaket, and the amun and amunet. In other words, they talked about the nun being matter, the nunet being space, the ha being infinity, and the ha-het is finity. The kak is the darkness, kaket is the light. The amen is the hidden, and the amenet is the revealed. The male and the female entities. What's important is that our ancestors understood you cannot have a male without a female. So there was never a conception of a male-only God. And as we travel throughout Africa and look at the many, many thousands of nations that reside in Africa, the common theme is that all things come into being by the coming together of the male and the female. And it brings forward life. And the third philosophy dealt with the essences of order and arrangement. Shu and Tefnut. Shu is the male and it is air. Tefnut is female and moisture. Air and moisture. This is science. And it's very important that we don't get in so deep inside of a theology or a religion that we don't see the sacred science behind this story. Shu and Tefnut give birth to Nut and to Geb. Nut is female. Nut is the sky. Geb is male and Geb is the earth. So their perception of life did not come from a mother earth. It came from a father earth and a mother sky. Because that is where light and heat energy comes from. That comes down to our planet and creates the organic life. And then Nut and Geb give birth to Asar, Aset, Nebetet, Seton. Asar is the original father. Aset is determination and the original mother. Nebetet is the oracle reader, the one that can see things that others cannot see. And Seton are the forces that destroy. Seton, where we get the word Satan from, is not a bad thing. It's just what exists as a destroyer. And we know in life that sometimes in order to construct, you must destruct. So there is a time for the destroyer, but the destroyer must come at a time when he is needed. Now Asar and Aset give birth to Heru, who is the resurrection and the light. So the Shabaka stone takes us through a dynamic process of coming into being that is called Kepra, represented by the dung beetle. And the dung beetle represents this process of coming. And this story then leads to an understanding of the science of what we're talking about. The Sphinx was the face of a black woman. The Sphinx is not a man. It's the face of a woman and the body of a lioness, because they believe that the year that it was born, created 10,000 years ago, before the pyramids. In fact, the pyramids were built there to complement the Sphinx that had been there for generations, if not millennia. It was built during the cusp of the constellations of Leo and Virgo. So Virgo was the woman's head and Leo was the body of the lion or the lioness. And so we know that the pyramids were astronomically inclined. We know that one of the functions was to trace the constellations. We know that the 3 pyramids that exist right now actually are in direct relationship to the 3 stars in Orion's belt. They perfectly match up. So we know that it was done for astronomical reasons. We know that every entrance to those 3 pyramids, Khufu, Khafra, Menkaure, father, son, grandson, are all on the north side of the pyramid. And when you go into the gallery that look up, if you had a telescope, all 3 of those northern entrances aimed directly at the North Star, which became the way in which they could track the constellations in the heavens. Now, Count Volta is going to study science, which tells us that we have a great amount of information that says that the Kemites had the ability to create electricity, and that in fact the Ankh that you see in the hands of many of the pictographs of many of the netchers actually was a lamp. Now, what is the evidence of this? It's written, African Origins of Electromagnetism, Nur Anka Mend, goes through a wonderful exploration of the science of our ancestors. We understand this and we know this. So with this information, when you look at what Volta is going to come back, and what does he get credit for? He gets credit for creating the battery. And the battery was the Jed column that the Ankh was put on that recharged the light in the Ankh. The Jed column was the actual recharger for the Ankh itself as light. He comes back and gets credit for inventing the battery.
Hold up on your comments. I better, hold up. Better let you guys go ahead and comment on this one. This next video is about 17 minutes, but it's really full. And then I got one more after that, and it's about 10 minutes. So in total, that would be about 47 minutes of video. So if anybody want to comment on that one?
Other than the Netras, man, I mean, see, that was a good example, man. That was a damn good example about the Netras, man. Like, and like I said, when it comes to that, you know, you call them guys, whatever you want to call them, but they're just nature, man. It's just simply nature, man. Way of teaching nature, man, and what what we study, which is nature, right? And that's what got you right in language and mathematics and science. This is how you got it from our ancestors studying nature, which is nature. Same thing, right? That's it, man. I mean, it's just so simple, man. But people, oh, y'all worship many gods. They got many. They worship too many gods, and they got a God for this and God for that. You see, that's the misunderstanding of the whole thing. The whole, the teachings. You know what I mean? That's not what it is. But people have their own understanding what they done heard instead of what they know. You know what I mean? This is what there's some other stuff that they believe. They don't know. Once you know, you ain't gotta believe no more. You know what I mean? So but you can go through believing all you want, man. But at some point you gotta know. At some point you're gonna want to know, man. You should know. You know what I mean? And then after you find out. After you know, you ain't gotta bleed no more. So yeah, that's I like that one, man. You have to send that one to me, King.
I got you.
All right. Yeah.
Prince,
Yeah, I'm good.
you good?
Yeah.
You sure?
Sweet. Thank you, baby.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Carrie?
I mean, just check that out, man. I'm in that. You see how that went, man, and that's another beginning too, man. If y'all pay attention to that, man, you don't. How many times have you heard those names other than Amen? You know what I mean, right?
Right.
Yeah, man. So check that out, man. Like that's a yeah, that's another part of another creation story.
Right. Yeah, that's part. I was gonna talk about that too. But you already covered that.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you good. No, you good. You good, man. That's what you're supposed to do. I just really want to sit back and bubble, man, and hear you guys' responses. So, it ain't no thing. You already know. Carrie, you got your mic unmuted, so I'm thinking that you wanted to speak.
Oh, I didn't know I was unmuted. Yeah, I like that. I like the science of it. How one was air, one was moisture, that kind of thing, and how from their kids and then their kids, and it was interesting. I couldn't write fast enough, so I'll have to watch it again. But yeah, enjoyed it. Thank you.
Welcome. Yeah, so I took a couple notes, man, and
Yeah.
the Jed and the Ankh and the lamp, they all appealing to the eye and stuff like that, and so I didn't know, I wasn't familiar with they also carried a lamp, or it was used as a lamp, and then he went into talking about the Jed column and the conductor it's a conductor of light, and so that's just more of our history and science, man, that we don't get credit for. They give credit to somebody else, and I think that's disappointing. And so, we have to have something to go back on, man, because this stuff is frustrating. It's degrading that they kept it from us and tried to switch lanes and claim it for their own. And so, you know, I don't like that. So I'm glad that we got the principles, the netures. As far as I understand, and I'm doing a study on areas, but as far as I know, the word God wasn't used, you know, in the early time. But then they had Arius, and he was preaching that you know, about God, and that Jesus was not a deity, right? And so all that changed. And so, man, I forgot to put up here. I'm gonna do that on the next one, man. So I'll just jump that on when after we while we're watching this other video, then I'll plug this thing in, because those seven councils I'm going to put up is the showstopper, right? Because that's where they introduced, they demanded that, you know, Mary, the Holy Spirit, and Jesus be introduced and follow, or you die. So Arius is, you know, a part of that death. So, you know, I'm doing a study on that stuff. Other things that I wrote down was, you know, the human extension, and this was the first video, the human extension of nature and the cosmos. He talked about Gaudimus and Aphria. So I'm going to look those up. And Gaudius being the description of the Moors before it was the Moors, right? And it being black. So I'm going to look up Gaudimus and Aphria. And then he talked about Father Earth, Geb, and Mother Sky, Nu. And what do we know it as is Mother Earth and the Father in the sky, right? And so SETI has one video that he's talking about, you know, that he's not the Father, God is the Father, right? So anyways, and I evaded, I looked up a whole bunch of videos for the lectures or readings and stuff like that, and they're always putting those Greek names in there, man. Osiris, anything with IUS, OUS, and one other ending is definitely sorry. I got a call.
Go ahead.
Okay, I gotta wait till my volume comes back on.
Oh yeah.
Just give me a second.
All right, we can hear you a little bit. We can hear you.
I'm gonna click back on. All right, is that, can you say something? Somebody say something.
We can hear you now.
All right, I'm gonna click right back on, man. Just give me a second.
All right. Hey, but yeah, I mean, I was just, you know, it was just saying, man, like you know, the average person, you know, or religious person, you know, they automatically think that, you know, ancient Egyptians had multiple, you know, many gods, and you know, it's just, and this is kind of like a nice way to clear that up. You know what I'm saying? It's just a nice way to clear that up, man. That I like that video. But go ahead, King. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish.
No, that's good, man. Like I said, man, I just really want to sit back and bubble, man. I love to hear, you know, you guys' responses. So, you know, I really evaded the descriptions of the oppressors, the European oppressors, a demand for us and indoctrination of us to practice of us to use those Greek names. And then the majority of the information, unless you dig deeper, you know, you're going to find that. And so I refuse to put that on Sankofa with a presentation of mine. So I put extensive work in to get this one. All right, so that's what we got to do. We got to research and we got to dig deep and not settle for some bullshit. All right, so, and then have to explain that shit, right? So you want to say something, Jamie?
No, no, King, I'm cool, man. Hey, Prince, you good? You got something you want to share with us?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Okay. I also wrote down, and I didn't get the nephew's name, Khufu, Kakara, and I didn't get his the nephew's name. Yeah,
Menakara.
Mekara, something like that. Yeah, so I thought that was interesting, and then that's ancient, and so that's just another version of Trinity, right? So and that was it. That was my notes, man. There's many things I could have wrote down, but I just want to keep it moving, man. And you guys study up and research, and maybe you come back and comment on something later. So let's get on to this next one. Next one is 17 minutes, man, but it's full.
Let's rock and roll.
Okay. Oh.
Every day I make around $10,000, and it's all online. It's actually not from real estate. If you're someone that's looking to get into
Then some people started to lose melanin in their hair.
It's not about black and white. It's about the continuous culture appropriation and falsification of history that has been done by what the so-called Afrocentrist movement.
Egyptians are angry. Many people from Egypt are claiming to be the victims of a plot. A plot concocted by a mysterious group of African Americans who belong to a sect called Afrocentrism. These people are often portrayed as desperate individuals searching for identity and greatness because their own history lacks excitement. It's said that they want to claim Egypt as their own simply because it's located in Africa. At least that's
I'm
what
gonna start that one over. Put your drawers on for this one.
It's not about black and white. It's about the continuous culture appropriation and falsification of history that has been done by what the so-called Afrocentrist movement.
Egyptians are angry. Many people from Egypt are claiming to be the victims of a plot. A plot concocted by a mysterious group of African Americans who belong to a sect called Afrocentrism. These people are often portrayed as desperate individuals searching for identity and greatness because their own history lacks excitement. It's said that they want to claim Egypt as their own simply because it's located in Africa. At least that's what we can hear all over the media these days.
But the thing is, that's why you find people like Kevin Hart, who subscribes to these theories, who claim that his ancestors built the pyramids. I'm sorry.
There's been a whole movement on this called Egypt for Egyptians, with apparently young Egyptians standing to fight for their history and showing that they look just like their ancestors. Have you noticed that most of these people are extremely racist? And it seems normal for them to say all these things. They are completely against the idea of a black presence in ancient Egypt, except if it's related to slavery. But that's not a surprise when we see how Zahi Hawass talks about indigenous Africans.
No, they were dark skinned, but they were not black, but they're not Negro. Because look at the lips of the Negroes like that, and the nose like this. It's not three in the Egyptian.
You hear that motherfucker saying niggas on there? All right.
It's different, completely different.
Despite the fact that the country borders Sudan, the blackest country in the world. And to justify their claims, they use the following visuals. Especially these visuals. But to me, there is a deeper motivation behind all this uproar. So, I want you to bear with me as we discover that truth. The real reason Egyptians are fighting so-called Afrocentrists. Apparently, all this started with the polemic surrounding the new Netflix documentary about Cleopatra. But as I told you, it is actually deeper than that. These last years, there has been an awakening wave all over people of African descent in the world. Many Africans started to seriously question the narrative they've been taught about African history. They noticed that most of what we've been taught was a lie. And their voices suddenly started to be heard because their arguments made sense. And this does not please those who benefit from the lies. To maintain the people in darkness, they started this victimization campaign to gain the world's support. All this is mainly motivated by the desire to maintain the status quo and prevent the truth from emerging. The truth doesn't match their current ideals. In one of my last videos, I mentioned the importance of soft power in our world. Soft power is basically the power that comes from your peers' perception of you, from your reputation. It can impact your level of influence in the world. It can be applied at an individual level, but also at a larger scale, like in the case of a nation, a continent, or an ethnic group, for example. Usually people craft the way they want to be perceived. And usually they choose the most advantageous image, based on their ideals and the power dynamics of the world around them. These ideals can also depend on who is in charge of that nation, meaning which ethnic group, for example. A nation in Scandinavia usually has completely different beauty standards than a nation in Africa. And that's normal. Beauty is subjective. It depends on cultures, locations, and many other factors. So, in the case of a nation, these factors are also dependent on who the rulers are and what are their ideals. Obviously, a country under Arab influence will have different ideals than a country under African influence. So, why am I talking about this? Today, the ancient civilization of Kemet became the Arab Republic of Egypt. The territory went through numerous invasions over the last millennia, to the point that it completely got disconnected from its original roots. The last significant one being the Arab invasion. Today, the ideals of that country look like this.
Wozniak, Elon Musk, other tech leaders recently wrote in an open letter that AI developers are, quote, locked in an all-out...
One being the Arab invasion. Today, the ideals of that country look like this. While in ancient times, it really looked like this. So, to me, the true reason behind this sudden uproar is actually a deep desire to control the image of what an indigenous ancient Egyptian is supposed to look like in people's minds, thus controlling the narrative of Kemet's origins. Then I heard about this. An Egyptian lawyer filed a complaint against Netflix for portraying Cleopatra VII as a black woman instead of as an Egyptian. I just want to precise that this video is not about Cleopatra's ethnicity. If you want to know my opinion about that, you can watch my video about it, here. In his lawsuit, the lawyer said most of what Netflix platform displays do not conform to Islamic and societal values and principles, especially Egyptian ones. He added that in order to preserve the Egyptian national and cultural identity among Egyptians all over the world, there must be pride in the makings of such work. Well, the problem with his claims is that neither Cleopatra nor ancient Egypt was Islamic. None of the pharaohs was actually Egyptian, as he says. The country was called Kemet. It was an indigenous African nation. It's obvious now that all this has nothing to do with the truth. It is due to the fact that today the country is linked to and under the influence of its latest invaders. They practice the same culture, religion, and even named themselves the Arab Republic of Egypt. People tend to try to associate themselves with what they admire. We all love people who look like champions, winners, conquerors. They are attractive, right? And we want a bit of their light to spill over us. We secretly want to become them. And due to colonization and the destruction of the image of Africa, African soft power has deteriorated over the last millennia. So, now those who got conquered in the north are trying to detach themselves from their roots to acquire the features and the identity of their conquerors, despite sometimes clear evidence of their African roots. That's an attempt to escape from oneself, a mark of self-hatred and the manifestation of a hidden inferiority complex. a form of Stockholm syndrome quite common among colonized populations. Therefore, the ancient African civilizations that once flourished in these areas are now automatically being linked to Arabia, the Middle East, or Europe, to the point that in most people's minds, it couldn't have been created by indigenous Africans. So, they are ready to gift the credit of these indigenous African civilizations to foreign people just to feel accepted by them. Today, the population of the region doesn't care about true history. They are just trying to project their modern ideals into the ancient civilization, which equate to falsifying history. For example, according to ancient Egyptians, their nation emerged in Inner Africa. Their gods came from and lived in Inner Africa. Their kings came from Inner Africa. And their culture also came from Inner Africa. A good example of that can be their wigs and hairstyles. They were always inspired by African hairstyles. Actually, when we look at all ancient populations' depictions, it is obvious that ancient Egyptians and Nubians belonged to the same group. But despite all evidence pointing at a black African origin, the people living in Egypt today refuse that reality and are trying to convince us, or maybe themselves, that it had nothing to do with black Africans. And they usually show these artifacts as evidence. Unfortunately, their narrative is based on a poor understanding of human mutations and history. In my last videos, I explained how everything about Kemet was linked to Black Africa. But I also explained that these elements that make us believe that there were indigenous non-black people in Egypt are irrelevant. Among these elements, there are colored eyes. When showing these statues or selecting specific spokespersons, some modern Egyptians are trying to prove that the indigenous people of Kemet were blue-eyed, and thus could only be pale-skinned individuals like them, because in their minds, colored eyes are white people's features, and by association being white means being superior. And their potential presence among some ancient Nile Valley Africans opens the door to a European or Levantine origin of Kemet. That logic extends to the origins of straight hair, red or blonde hair, or to a specific type of facial features usually called Caucasian features. Unfortunately, that narrative is completely false. And what I am about to tell you now will completely change the way you see our world.
Psychologists have discovered that procrastination isn't caused by laziness or lack of motivation, but
As soon as an individual carries any of these features, we tend to look for some non-black origin in his lineage. But the truth is that black people with red or blonde hair exist. Black people with straight hair exist. Black people with colored eyes exist. Black people with Caucasian facial features exist. Black people with white skin exist. And they have existed prior to the emergence of those we call white people. In other words, it didn't necessitate any European or Northern admixture to have those features. That's the proof that these features have nothing to do with a so-called white origin. In fact, black people are actually the ones who gave these features to white people. According to Chikanta Diop, the great African scholar, there were two types of black Africans. Those with kinky and those with straight hair. But both were black. However, was he right? In my video about Ramses II, I explained that the way we see the world today is biased. Especially because we always try to oppose black to white. And we wrongfully attribute all these features to white people, thinking that they are the ones who brought it to the world. But that's not the case. The truth is that there is no opposition to black because it is the root of us all. There is no white without black. But there has been black without the existence of white. And it has actually been the case for 99.9% of the existence of the human race on this planet. It is not even a debate. So, technically, there is no white race. In a way, we can say that there is only one big black race with numerous levels of melanin that we call humanity. One family with a great diversity. Most of us don't understand how the current diversity, especially the one that caused the most problems, which is skin color, emerged. Many of us still think that there was a group of white people who appeared in opposition to black people. This is what racism has created during the last few centuries. Ancient Europeans classified human beings and put those who looked like them on top of that hierarchy, attributing themselves the merit of the achievements of all indigenous melanated people who preceded them. What we have to understand is that most of these mutations started gradually and slower than we think. We've been lied to. People didn't become white with straight blonde hair and colored eyes just by magic one day. The truth is that some black people started to lose melanin in some parts of their bodies, but not all at once. It probably started with hair. Some people developed wavy hair, then straight hair, but they were still black. We can see it with Australian Aboriginals and Indians, for example. They are black with wavy, straight hair, but also kinky hair. And they have all these features without any white people's intervention. Then some people started to lose melanin in their hair. They started to be red-haired or blonde, but still with kinky hair, then with wavy and straight hair when they combined both mutations. Something that we can still observe among the people of the Solomon Islands. Then, due to the climate first and for numerous other reasons later, others started to develop different facial and body features adapted to their new environments, especially cold environments, but they were still black. We can still see many people like this in Africa, but especially in India. Indians are actually black-white people. They have all the features of Europeans, but they have darker skins. And finally, the last and more recent mutation that is also the one that caused the most horrifying problems, skin color. Some people started to lose melanin in their skin. And this is the main feature attributed to white people or northern people. But they actually came last, as you can see in all these studies about genetics and skin color. Prior to that, everything that existed had already been created by our dark-skinned ancestors. Civilization was associated to them. Even ancient Greeks wrote about it. That's why they linked their gods to Africans, who, according to them, were the first men. So, back in the day, civilization, knowledge, power were black people's things. And it has been that way for a very long time, even after Greece, Rome, etc. That's why in ancient temples, ancestors, or gods were usually depicted dark-skinned. At the end, with migrations, intermarriage, but also, let's be honest, invasions and genocides, more people ended up combining all of these mutations at the same time. But at some point, racist people decided to build an identity around these features to fit their terrible agenda. People must understand that pale-skinned individuals didn't reach the banks of Africa or even those of Southern Europe before very late periods. Studies prove that modern Europeans' genetic makeup only emerged around 4,000 years ago, which is around 2000 BC. And we also know that it is around the same period that white skin started to appear. Our 1B, which is the main lineage in Western European males, is also among the youngest lineages. In other words, everything is in perfect alignment. When these new populations reached the southern regions, black people still lived there as attested by ancient European art, and it became a huge melting pot. So, European scholars added themselves in stories that had nothing to do with them by getting the monopole of education. They created and reinforced false narratives through books, movies, illustrations, etc. This is why today, so many innocent people feel offended when they hear people say that ancient figures were black-skinned or black Africans. They fell for the propaganda and the lies. But despite these facts, scientists also proved that most of these features were not very common in Kemet and only increased after the invasions of the country. The fact that these statues were built with these beautiful stones in their eyes isn't evidence that they carried these features. We must remember that Egypt is located in a tropical area where these features were actually detrimental in an evolutionary context. To survive there, one must have had dark skin at a time when clothing was a luxury. To conclude, I want you to understand that the purpose of all this is to heal our world. It's necessary to rethink everything we know about ourselves, about humanity. It is necessary to question everything we've been taught and build a better world for us and the next generations. So, no. Egyptians are not being attacked by some despicable Afrocentrists, African Americans. It's just the true story of our world that is coming to light, and it is time to make peace with it and accept that all our ancestors didn't necessarily look like what we see in movies. I hope that you enjoyed watching this video. Let me know what you think about this. Do you agree, or do you have another explanation? I'm open to engaging in further discussion in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the video. Thanks for watching Mr. Imhotep's channel, and see you in the next video.
This has been.
Give me just a second. All right, comments?
Okay, well, hey, baby, I just want to say peace to Dre. What's going on, Dre? How you doing, King?
Here we
Hey, what's
go.
up, Dre?
Hey, I'm good. How y'all doing? Yeah, I was sitting up listening. Do you want to go eat? Call you and Candace. I was sitting up listening to that a little bit.
Okay,
Yeah, no,
okay. We
no.
was just saying, I just want to address you, King. How you all right? How you been, man?
I'm good, man. I ain't been on here with y'all in a minute. I thought I might well come on and sit for a minute.
Yeah, we
Right.
appreciate you, man, always.
Shit, how you been?
Oh man, I'm making it, man, messing with your crazy brother, man. Yeah.
Hey,
And my partner Prince down there.
well,
Boy,
let me see who else on here. Let me see.
Prince, we got the brother Prince, we got Queen Carrie on here. We we got
How
the
the
family.
hell do I
We got
get
the family.
everybody on here?
Yeah, we got the
Oh,
family.
there we
Slide.
go.
Yeah. Yeah, we got the family on
Y'all
here,
know I'm
man.
computer illiterate.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
got
it's
the
all
family.
good. It's all good.
What's up,
Hey,
y'all?
hey, so does anybody got any comments on that? Let's keep this
Yeah,
part moving.
I thought it was real cool, man. It was really informative, especially on the color thing. That really blew me away. I thought that was pretty intense on how all the colors came around to be, and how there is no white person race.
Yeah, I kind of like
Everybody
that
say
too.
white is pure. White ain't pure.
Again, man, there is no white person race. It all depicted from one
No.
color, black. You can't have white without black, but you can have black without white. So they even got the color spectrum all messed up. The teaching in schools, so even in the dictionary's definition, you got white as pure, the light. You got dark as unpure, darkness. It's you trip out if you got the dictionary and read those two definitions of what black and the difference between white and black.
Yeah,
Just
and just think about life. Life comes out of darkness. Life don't come
That's
out of
right.
light, right?
That's right.
Life comes out of darkness, out of triple darkness, right? So, I mean, that's the only way you get life,
That's it.
right?
That's
Only
it.
way you get life, King. So, I mean, so if that's, I think that's a little backwards,
Oh,
right?
definitely,
You know what I
definitely.
mean?
And
That's
they
just a
taught us
little
that in
backwards,
school that way, though. You know what I mean, bro? That's crazy how they
right?
taught us that. Like
Right, but
white was.
just think about it, man. But black,
Hey,
you
be,
can't
hey,
get,
just one second, Jamie. Hey, be sure to talk just one at a time.
yeah,
Oh Lord, have mercy.
yeah.
I told
And
you I'm
so,
breaking that rule.
I got something for you after this video too. The
Yeah,
next video gonna have something especially for you.
yeah.
hey,
Well,
hey,
y'all know white folks did write that shit, so they gonna
Yeah,
make white
it's their history. Yeah, you right.
white gonna always want white to be supreme, but
Definitely.
they don't know that black is the natural.
That's right. That's right.
They know it. They just don't want us to realize.
That's right. You
Hey,
absolutely
mute Prince, man. mute that nigga, man. You lucky I ain't got the controls over here. Your ass will be Zach.
hey, but yeah, hey, listen, man, like for real though, yeah, I mean, like, I also like the part where I forgot to mention this too, how the pyramids are lined up with Orion's belt perfectly. right? And at a certain time of the year, they, I mean, it's lined up to the point where, I mean, it's perfect lineup, right? You know what I'm saying? Now, and that's like, just think about how much precision that took.
That's like what though? What was the purpose? Was it just for? Was it just for?
Well, I mean,
Astrology, or was it for something else? I wonder if it was
it
something
was
for
it
something
was it
else.
was astrology, man. But it's
I bet it
also,
was
I mean,
something else too.
it could have been. Did you hear what the brother said? Now he said that they was doing it. They had power. They had electricity.
You
So
know?
you just so you gotta all that is connected. I mean, that's what the
Yeah.
brother said. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So it's like,
you just don't like to go deep in that. You and y'all don't like to get deep into
Oh,
that section, and
you know what I
that's
you,
what
you know what I want to do? I want you to do a study on that itself, and then present
already.
that.
Thanks. Okay, I challenge you. I challenge you that back. I'll do that.
Yeah,
That's what's up.
yeah, you
That's
can
what's
do
up.
that Tuesday instead of what you was gonna
Okay.
do.
All
I
right.
mean,
That's
no,
a
not
bet.
Tuesday. You can do that next Sunday instead of
I
what you
got
was
you.
gonna do.
Yes, sir. I definitely will. I definitely will. That's what's up.
hey,
I
but
don't
yeah,
believe
like,
you.
but this is how they
Bet.
do though. This is how they do. They white, they've been doing this from the beginning. They whitewash, our information. But you
Yeah.
remember when he introduced Sheikh Anta Sheikh
Right.
Anta, and it was some more. It was some more. I don't want to say who, and make a mistake, but I know Sheikh Anta was one of the ones that went to them to prove that uh Kemet was black, and they proved that without a shadow of a doubt. They proved it, and so from that point on, it was known that Kemet was black. But what they have done throughout the years is, tried they best just to continue to whitewash it, just like the Egyptians now today. I mean, the Arabs now today that's over there in Egypt right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. It's obvious, King. They colonized the area, King. You're not indigenous to that land. You're not. You know what I'm saying? You conquered that land, and you took that land, right? That's just. Come on, man. You cannot. There's no way, no way, no way on earth you could change that, man. I mean, that's just facts, King. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Because these people are following a law. Ancient Kemet didn't follow no law. You feel me? They didn't follow no law. You know what I'm saying? These people follow a law, right? That means, you know what I'm saying? And the reason why is because that's the conqueror's religion. Because if they conquer us over here, we're gonna be practicing Allah. You're gonna be practicing Christianity no more.
I ain't gonna be practicing shit.
Yeah, you gonna practice what they
No,
tell
I
you to
ain't.
practice.
No, I
That's
ain't.
what you
No,
gonna do.
I ain't.
Hey, you is. You gonna
No,
practice
I
what they
ain't.
tell you to. Yeah, yeah,
No,
yeah.
I ain't.
They told you to practice Christianity, and you practicing it.
Only because my daddy made me and my grandmama popped me in the back of my head if I didn't.
And you
Right?
still doing it right now on
No,
your
I'm not
own.
old
Or you,
goofy.
well,
Go, no, I ain't old butter cheese
you
head.
was. I seen you when you was doing it. You think I didn't see you? Yeah. Yeah, I had to beat it about you. That's what happened. Yeah. Yeah. I had to beat it about you. Go ahead, King. I'm sorry. Go
All
ahead.
right. No, you good. You good. Carrie, you want to say something? You good? You good?
I do. You know what? I feel like more lies that I believed, and that statement that there is no white without black. Wow, how powerful is that? Um, I enjoyed that video. I was in awe. Thank you. Another lie dispelled. So thank you.
All right. No doubt. No doubt. No
Hey, I'm gonna
doubt.
tell you that's amazing too, man. Because she's absolutely correct too. I mean, because that's exactly what it does too, King. It 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 display. I mean, but again, you have to do your research, family, right? because you know what I'm
Right.
saying, right? You got to do your research,
Right.
man, because that's a powerful statement, man, to say something like that, to make that kind of statement.
Hey, was that a white guy saying that? Was that a white guy?
That's Mr. Imhotep, man. You got to give him his props, man. Hey, I bought some books from him, children's books from him. So you can go to him and get children's books. He
But
also
is he
got
a
some
white or
powerful.
black guy? What
He's
color
black.
is he?
He's black. He got some powerful information on his channel too, man.
Have you seen those white? Have you seen those white people talk about it though, in depth about it?
And about what?
How black is the main race, and you know when they go in depth about this stuff.
Yeah,
Well,
without a doubt, Alan Watts to talk about it, and then
Exactly.
a few other ones too. So.
Okay.
Now, those are the ones that really blow me away when it's them saying it. You know.
No, see, that's the twist, man. I mean, it blow you away, but which one you gonna give more attention to? All right, that's the question. So let's get on to let's. That wasn't a question for you to answer. You just pay attention. I'm just fucking with you.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
when I first started this journey, one of the things that I heard was, people will listen to the white people's description of us more than the black people's description. Now I put up white people's videos too. I listen to them, but I gotta be careful and then looking for those slighter words and shit. So, and I also gotta look out for the black people, trying to propagate something that that people don't research it. Then you go on, bumping your gums about it and get caught the fuck up, right?
Right.
So,
Right.
so it's all about research either way, man.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna.
Hey, let me just say this, man. But see, one thing you can't do is you can't rely on or Egyptology or Europeanology to tell you your history, right? And what I mean by that is the history books that's written today and the history that they're telling today has been rewritten, has been written by our people. It wasn't written by us. So now, and so what we're doing is we ciphering through it, right? And we seeing what the real history is, right?
Yeah, and then another thing is too is they're gonna use those Greek names, Horus, Isis, and shit like that. So and I ain't buying that, man. So Dre, you good? Okay. Good. Good.
I had to unmute it.
Yeah. You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, I'm gonna show this next video. So this next video is another one from Sinetta, and it's got, I like Sekou, and I like Jabari, and of course Sinetta, and I think there's Dr. Reggie on there. But what it's gonna do is gonna pose a question. You may not have a response to it, but at least you have a thought to go off on, and that'll be the last video. All right, and then that's about 10 minutes long.
Hey man, you go ahead and rock and roll, baby boy. We got you. Hey, we watching. Yeah, we got you, man. Yeah, and then we got Big Brother over here in the corner, man, watching. Hey, we got him over here, man. We got him over here. We got him over here. We got him over here.
Hey man, I can't come with no fuck shit. You
got Big Brother watching.
Hey, you better watch your mouth. You better watch your mouth.
I knew you was gonna say that.
Hey, you got Big Brother watching, man. Hey, so
Hey,
far
I
it's been
watching.
It's been real
I like
impressive,
listening.
man. Keep it rolling, baby.
All right. Eric just sent a message saying him and his wife is doing something, but I'll get back to that message in a minute.
Hey, you gotta take care of that. Take care of home first, baby.
Yeah, no doubt. See, I got that one down there that I'm going to watch, man. The 25th Dynasty and the Ptolemies. I'm gonna peep that one after we get off of this.
When it happened the first time, I honestly thought it was my fault. And I couldn't look at him the same way. I mean, he only had one.
Have at least a sit down.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I want to get this brother right here too.
As I'm done, I was.
He on the phone. Get him. He's on the phone.
Yeah, hold on.
He's on the phone. He's important now. He's the president.
Hey, say cool, what up, brother?
Peace and blessings, Sarnetta.
Hey, hold up, Reggie. Say cool. Are you willing to get in the ring with Unc?
Yes, not just Unc. I want to get in the ring with Garfield. Sarnetta, let me tell you something. Don't laugh. I saw Garfield on Facebook saying that the Greeks, that the stolen legacy written by George GMJ is garbage.
Damn.
He said it's garbage because he's been reading Mary Lefkowitz. And now
what?
He says
Mary Lefkowitz?
Yes. Because Tamika, I think a sister Tamika or somebody wrote on Facebook today, he said, did the Greek steal ancient Egyptian philosophy? And
so you guys pay attention to this, man. Like I said, you may not have a response to it, but it's going to be an in-depth thought to consider.
The Greeks acknowledged their sources. They wrote that they learned from ancient Egyptians. They wrote it. So many Greek scholars acknowledge that. In fact, starting from Homer, you start seeing that they acknowledge that Ethiopia and Egypt was the mother of civilization. I said the problem of stolen legacy came about because the Europeans started saying something called Greek miracle. The Greek miracle means there was a big bang of knowledge in Greece where Greek never learned from nobody. Somehow there was a big bang, their brains started working and they became philosophers without learning from anyone. So based on that idea, African Center scholars have to say then every knowledge the Greek had was stolen from Egypt if you don't want to acknowledge the sources that came from out of Egypt. That's where the stolen come from because Europeans are trying to erase the sources. So Garfield is reading a lot of Mary Lefkowitz. Now he's saying that our scholars don't know what they are talking about. So I'm calling Garfield. If you believe in Greek miracle, I challenge you to come on the board. If you believe in Greek miracle, because he's saying nobody stole nothing from nobody. I said that's a very vague statement.
Damn.
Did Greek learn from Egypt?
Damn that.
Was there any philosopher in Greece before Thales went into Egypt to learn? That's why I'm waiting for Garfield to come and defend. As for Ankh, I told him he practices scientism. Scientism is the religion of science, where you think that all scientists are now the priests of the world, that they have absolute knowledge and they understand all of reality. And I challenge him that even science itself does not have a definitive answer to the questions of existence. It is only one of the most effective ways we understand our reality, but it does not give a definitive answer for the purpose of existence. So when you are talking to Black people, African spirituality is our culture. It is part of our civilization, and it does not make us to be non-scientific. That's the only problem I have with Ankh.
But it also doesn't answer, it does not.
Well, Reggie, I'm surprised that you be going against Sekou, brother. When Sekou uphold the teachings of
Sekou was all right until you started talking about that spirituality stuff. It's all right. Talk about Africa, but
you don't hear me, Reggie?
So this is a very important part. The reason why is for the etiquette, the importance of the etiquette, the discipline, and when we're online, if we're going to be moving forward with this, we need to have more etiquette. We need to have more discipline. And we need to have more respect for the other person speaking. It's automatic because of the excitement. But just follow me. It's automatic.
We need to talk about this off the show. So when we get on the show, it ain't have to be discussed. This is something to discuss after the show.
So it's automatic that we're going to interject and talk over each other, but we have to be able to pull ourselves back in. And Prince, when you get ready to present, you can facilitate the way you want to. Do not disturb that groove, man, because it's really important. Okay? Let's get back at it.
Because I was talking and you came in and started talking over me.
Yeah, the volume is low on my end.
Oh, it might be low on my end too. I could turn it up. But Reggie, Say Cool keeps up the history of Dr. Ben, the legacy of all of our elder teachers. And I'm surprised that you go against him when he keep that teaching alive. You don't
go.
Hold on. Dr. Ben, Dr. Clark, and all of them scholars was talking about the spiritual aspect of our total being. That's where we learned it from, Reggie. But you ain't never told Dr. Ben this until you started messing with the Garfield and Reggie and Uncle and them, brother. Yes, I seen the change.
Brother Sonetta, I don't disagree with Brother Say Cool on everything. But when we start throwing spirituality in, and I talked to him on his show, right, about spirituality, right? Spirituality is who you are personally, right? When it comes into group, Africa was divine kingships and divine chiefs, right? Where the king still told you what to do, and so did the chiefs. The spirituality went to boots. It went out the window, right? It didn't matter what the individual. How do we know this? Because of the long record of human sacrifice in Africa, right? That it is the king and the chiefs and the priests, right, and the administrators. The individual only matters in the context of the group. There's some things I agree with Brother Sekou on, some things I do not. But the difference is that I actually spoke to Dr. Ben and Dr. Clark and listened to them intensely, right? So where does Sheikh Anta Diop talk about spirituality? Where does he talk about spirituality?
He did.
Where and where?
Alarm on the Tropics. Did you read his article, Alarm on the Tropics?
No, what does it say?
So I got that wrote down, Alarm on the Tropics. So I'm gonna peep that too.
Do a show on it. Do a show on it, Sekou.
Okay.
That's not.
He has an entire article called Alarm on the Tropics, Allah Sila Tropics, where he talks
French?
about.
It's in French?
He doesn't call it spirituality. He
Okay.
said we must revive the ancestral monotheism of Osiris. He said that must be revived in a new African civilization. Because, look, whenever I talk about spirituality, there's one thing I tell people. First of all, is there's something called cultural identity. Don't mess with cultural identity, because people must identify. When you call people black people in terms of what? Is it a social location or is it a cultural group? If it is a cultural group, then we have a worldview. Then we have a morality, we have axiology, we have our cosmology, we have things that identify us as a people.
You're
All
cutting
other people
yourself,
do.
Sekou.
So
Thumb
we
up
said,
the video, family. Everybody thumb up the video, y'all. Come on,
You're
man.
cutting yourself because what they're
I'm
talking
coming
about.
up, Reggie. You and
is
I,
you-
Reggie, the
Just
last
because you got your little Bruce Lee suit on, you the African Bruce Lee now? You got the little Bruce Lee suit
Let
on?
him talk, brother. Come on, let him talk, Reggie.
Reggie, let me
You want
finish.
him to talk, but you don't want me to talk.
You can
I
talk,
said,
but let him finish though.
Reggie, you were on my show, and I let you speak very freely. So now you are on the show. I cannot talk.
It's not your show. It's Sanetta's show.
No, I said you were on my show last week, and I let you talk.
You let me? I won't be on your show no more.
Oh, Reggie.
Oh no, Reggie.
Don't F with me.
You, Reggie.
Don't F with me.
Man, come on, Reggie. He's telling you that even though you came on his show, he allowed you to talk. He didn't.
Yeah, but we on your show right now.
Right. All I'm saying is let him
What that
talk.
got to do with China? Tea in China.
Reggie, let him talk. That's all I'm saying. You're going to be able to talk too. Go ahead, Sekou.
Okay. So I was saying African spirituality is part of our identity. As a people, every people on this world, we are the only people who said we have to give away our identity in order to become something. And that's something we don't find a model for it in history.
If you want to create a new black man who does not have spirituality, but has only work of materialistic science, I'm asking, where is your reference in history? What group of black people in history excel by giving away their culture and giving away their spirituality? And at what point the African practicing spirituality led to their regression and they didn't progress? All the Kemet that you teach about their scientific progress, they were spiritual people. The Greeks were spiritual people. Where is your reference in history that because people practice spirituality, they cannot advance or they cannot make science? Said we have to give away our identity in order to become something. And that's something we don't find a model for in history. If you want to create a new black man who does not have spirituality, but has only work of materialistic science, I'm asking, where is your reference in history? What group of black people in history excel by giving away their culture and giving away their spirituality? And at what point the African practicing spirituality led to their regression and they didn't progress? All the Kemet that you teach about their scientific progress, they were spiritual people. The Greeks were spiritual people. Where is your reference in history that because people practice spirituality, they cannot advance or they cannot make scientific progress? You have no reason to juxtapose these two things because there is nowhere in history where African people practice spirituality led to their abandoning science. So where is your problem? You can use Islam. People use Islam, for example, as a religion, go against science. And the history they gave is in Baghdad, because Iraq was the center of Islamic learning, and Islam flourished during the Islamic Golden Age until the period of Imam Ghazali and other imams. They started preaching against mathematics science because they said it was revealing things against the Quran. So they now their preaching led to scientific regression in the Islamic world. That didn't happen in Africa. That didn't happen in Egypt. That didn't happen anywhere. Their spirituality moved along with science. It's part of our identity. And I use Japan as an example always. Every street you go in Japan, you find spiritual temples. Temples everywhere in Japan. But is Japan not one of the G7 countries in the world?
Why are we talking about Japan?
So, as an example,
why are we talking about Islam?
Example.
So let me talk.
Example.
You're giving bad examples, Sekou.
Let me be done and I'll let you speak. I will not interrupt.
No, it's not a privilege that I have to speak.
Reggie, you
call it privilege. It's not about privilege.
When you start speaking, Reggie, believe me, I'm gonna let you go in. Just allow the brother to finish. We're gonna learn discipline one way or another one day, brother. Go ahead, Sekou. I'm gonna let you go in as long as you want, Reggie.
If you want to critique African spirituality, you are welcome. That's very good. You can sit down and critique it with a very constructive criticism. But when you put it against science, what you're doing is disingenuous, because those who gave you the science were spiritual. That's the debate. I'm asking you to produce a civilization that needed to abandon spirituality before it made progress in science. Give me an example in Africa. Or where is a group of black people where their spirituality is the reason why they didn't progress in science? And I told Ankh, I always tell Ankh this, that your scientific literacy you are talking about is a very vague term. It has no meaning. Why? There are so many black scientists in the world. The question you should ask, does their science benefit black people? There are so many black scientists in America. The question you should ask, does their science is used to improve the condition of black people? No. Why? Because they do not have a cultural identity that put black people first. So you need cultural identity. You need nationality so that your science will even make sense to you. I'm done.
Hey, Sekou, would you debate Reggie?
Reggie, I consider, let me tell you the truth. Maybe it will shock everybody. I consider Reggie my teacher. I can have a conversation with Reggie, but not a debate.
Okay, see the love that he give you, Reggie? See that?
Okay, give me just a second, you guys. Let me share something real quick before you guys share. Okay, so that was an example of a thought to consider, and maybe you have a response, maybe you don't. but it's something to consider. And I had to go back and hear that about 3 or 4 times, right? And I still need to, right? And doesn't it look
I
and
didn't say
doesn't it look ugly? All that controversy and all that breaking in, right? It looks ugly to me. And I don't want that to be a part of our platform, right? I understand once again that the emotions get up and we want to share, we can take that, but we can't continue with that. So I had to learn it. I want to do better at it myself. And so it's very important. Another aspect of it is, and it's selfish on my part, maybe you guys will consider it, maybe you won't, but I have to consider it. When I'm around or involved in a whole bunch of different chatter trying to pay attention because of my strokes, I can't, it fucks my eyes up, so it fucks my head up. So I have to attend to that. That happened some last week, but that wasn't the reason why I got off. I got off because I couldn't see, right? And so my vision was going down. I even fell over this little step up we got, and I had to call, have Carrie come in. So it's really important to me, for me to practice that etiquette. I want to do better because I know I'll jump off too. And I hope somebody pulls me back in, right? And then for my health concerns, I have to attend to it. Ain't no other motherfucker got to attend to, but I do, and I will bounce, right? So I don't want to have another stroke. Okay, so that's my thing. It isn't just personal. It just looks ugly, and I showed that video specifically for the points that Sekou was pointing out, and for that lack of etiquette, and for the moderating, the facilitating that Sinetta puts forth. And those are his boys, right? And so we boys, man, we fam, we're gonna get it one way or another. So I'm just gonna open it up to you guys. I love you, Prince, man. It ain't just for you, man. I'm just saying, I learned that early, and I practice to do better. I try to keep in my mind to do better. So, and then my health issue. So you guys go ahead and share.
Yeah, it ain't nothing but love, man, if you don't mind me saying so, man. Like I say, I've had I got brothers, man, I grew up with, and we argued and we still love each other. So, long as we can have like I say, the debates do not bother me. When I first got on here, it kind of did that, whatever, just on the fact where I felt like it wasn't the same respect level on just the mindset. But I had to learn that, you just stay in the ring and do your own research, and you come back and you stand your ground. And I do not get offended by too much anything, only if it's just if a person, like, I felt like Sekou, what's his name, Sekou? Sekou. I felt like he was drilling my mans, like Jamie say, cooking me. He was cooking them too long, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can cook, but you ain't got to cook to the point where you got to get that other person. That's why I say it should be a set time limit. It shouldn't be a time limit to where a person has to write down on a notebook pad so that he don't forget, because this other person has gone into his rant and or his I want to say his passionate approach to how he gonna explain why his truth is the truth and the other person's truth is not the truth. So I think a debate is a debate. I used to have them in high school, and it is nothing where people should get into an argument or lose their cool because of just a simple fact that it is two different opinions going off of their research and somewhat their belief and their spirituality intertwined all into the mix. And so you have to just respect each other's views at a point of, if it's their spirituality, that's their lifestyle. Like he said, a person has to identify with that to be a people. And it's like we're all individually getting to that point of our spirituality, but it's still not intertwined into one. And that's the only part where I see a challenge at, is even with blacks, you have like Sankofa 180 and Jamie's different spirituality, your different spirituality, look, my different outlook on it, and so many others in the world. So it's like, where do we come to the point where it's not about who did it when they did it, but just how do we get to a point of loving each other and full, just pure love and energy, and not worry about the creation of it. Now, I get the fact that it is about knowing the history and knowing who actually invented it. That is so true. But in my eyesight view, I just think we have gone so far past that, man. And at this point in life, it's like, before it blows the fuck up, let's just figure out how to get along with each other and us love each other. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
but you gotta move past that first, okay? You can't just ignore that. You can't ignore that. You gotta address that part. That part
Right.
has
It's
to
been
be addressed.
addressed. It's
No,
been addressed. It's been
no,
addressed for so long and
no,
so many
because you
years.
got
It's been a
no.
debate on all of that. We have no debates on how do we just get it together with the world. How does the world pull together? How do we make that change where there's no separation and no diversity? Because when you have that color thing brought into it, or who did it, that's a diversity in itself. That's a separation in itself, big dog.
Okay,
And I
so
ain't
you
nothing but
go
love.
so you go ask you go ask the average preacher that, man. What do you think his answer is going to be? What do you think he's gonna say? If
Those
you
are the
go to
main ones lost. I feel those are the main ones that are lost, and
no, but
they're
these are ones that's in control of multitudes of people.
right. I truly get it. But if we had a show, listen, this is the show for that. And I'm glad I'm on it to preach my soul say, and hey, love and peace, man. Let's just say fuck all that. Let's just get past all the barriers, drop the color, drop how we got here. It's here. Let's marvel in its beauty. Let's just.
So you're asking people to drop their religion. You're asking people to drop their
I'm
belief
asking
in
people.
faiths.
Yeah, I'm asking people to, let's just, what I'm saying, figure out how to get along with each other without all of the diversity and the separation. That's all I'm asking. Let's
So you
drop the
would have to
color
first you
shit,
would first
man.
have to
Like,
get rid
damn,
of
what's wrong with that? I don't understand the madness behind what's wrong with that change, man. What's wrong with that, big dog?
but
What's
you
wrong
had
with
to
that?
first get rid of you had to first get rid of the institutions that you're in. You have to get rid of them. You have to drop them.
Why? Because it's gonna put
I'm not saying
a
that you have to stop believing. I'm saying, but in order, but if you're going to come to the table and have a belief of the same, I mean not a belief, but going in the same direction. How are you going to do that when your teachings tell you don't fuck with us and don't fuck with them? Their teachings tell you don't fuck with them, don't fuck with us, and you know what I mean. That's
and that's
right.
what I mean.
So
Like, when when
so
when are we going to get to the point where they recognize the love in the gods that they have, and that love is not a really great love, that it's not a love that is supposed to be to your brother. Like, we're all a part of God. We're all a part of this higher source. And I apologize using God. We're all a part of this higher source of creation, of however we became. But we all know that we are all a part of each other, because if, again, you rewind the tape, if people would just visualize rewinding the tape, the spectrum of the whole beginning of this world, and if you go all the way back to where it began, and
like
like
saying
I always say,
you talking about like Sankofa.
yes, I'm talking about Sankofa, but further back than Sankofa, though, and keep rewinding the tape. Where are you going to go? Where is it going to end up at the very beginning of that tape? And if it ends up at the beginning one point, and then you fast forward it and you get this light and you get the spectrum of stars and you get the spectrum of our planet and you get the spectrum of air and you get spectrum of water and then the spectrum of dirt and then the mountains coming up and the trees and the birds and the animals and all of that, then the people and then more people and then more people. That's the spectrum where I'm saying we're all one. The separation is what's keeping everybody apart and all this fighting and all the bickering, and people ain't understanding that. If we are all just one spectrum of colors, man. We are the rainbow. We the universe in itself, bro. And if we could break through that cycle of thinking and get to that point, then we could all just be in one big crowd and love and enjoy and rejoice with each other in a very spiritual, peaceful Shit, spectrum, dog. That's what I'm saying.
That's one of the things that we do here at King on Sankofa 180 degrees. We try to get the people to open their eyes and see that what you know what this is what you know this institution that you believing in, it ain't yours. It ain't for you. This is not yours, right? It ain't you know, and this is you know we show you that what is yours, and where to come to see it, right? Right? This is what we're trying to do, man. And this is what we've been trying to do. I mean, I don't know if you realize this or not, King, but if you look around Facebook, you look around YouTube, you look around Sonetta Studios, you look at House of Consonants, uh you look at all these different lives, right? You're gonna see people pushing comedic thought or some kind of comedic thought, right? Hey man, I mean, it's all around you, King. This is what we doing. This is what these platforms and this is what these channels and meetings and lives and podcasts are about. They're about change, opening your eyes, family. Stop following
Yeah, but even
this.
amongst those three guys, even just amongst them three guys, Jamie, uh, you know, you had one still controlling two individuals who felt so deeply about how they viewed things. And one, Mr. Saku, he had his views, and then you had the other guy, I can't remember his name, his views on it. And yeah, so passionately, bro. Like he knew in his heart, in his soul, that his way is correct. And so did Saku in his heart and his soul. He feels that's the correct way. But what I'm
Because
saying
they're
is,
going off of written documents. They're going off of proof. They're going off of what we call sources.
and that's what
This is what they're talking about. This is what they're talking about. So that's the only thing that we got to go off of right now, King. I mean, like I said, I mean,
and my whole point exactly. So if them two brothers sat down and they got together and they said, you know what, let's figure out how me and you can coexist in a way that we both see it the same view, and this is how it is. So
listen,
with that,
he didn't believe he didn't disagree with everything. It was just a few things that he disagreed with. I'm not going to agree with everything you say. You ain't gonna agree with everything I say. I ain't gonna agree with everything Unc say. Unc ain't gonna agree with everything that I say. This
but
is
one
what
is
I'm.
a Scientologist and or a science, whatever he said it was called, science, and then he is a different one. So there is still that's that you're not understanding what I'm saying. Why? What the fuck? What is up with the
Hey,
separation all the time?
hey, Prince, let me know when I can speak.
Go ahead.
I say that because I say that sincerely because I want you to finish because I got a response to your answer. So when you get
You
done,
can respond right now. You can respond right. You can respond right now. You got it.
I ain't sure.
You got it.
Okay, so the one thing is you're talking about, when we're gonna come to, one agreement. For one, the European ain't trying to hear that, right? They ain't even trying to hear that, right? So that ain't gonna happen. The other thing is that our history has the content of exactly what you're talking about. And you talking about elude that, take that out, and let's just skip it. We already passed it. No, we need to bring our history to the front, right? That's where they took all their ideologies from that got all this confusion going. Took us from exactly what you're talking about. That love and peace and harmony, man. That's what Ma'at is all about, right? That's what the Netches is all about, right? That's what our culture was all about, right? And then somewhere along the line, where Arius is involved, they started to practice some Christianity, or it was called that. I'm doing a search on that, so I ain't got it all together. Nevertheless, soon after that, during that, they propagated the invasive stuff that took us away from exactly what you're talking about. And you're saying, let's stop talking about this. I understand the debates and these things. Take that out. That's eliminating the points that you are making. And it's going to keep us in this frustration. These people borrow from all of our history, the exact thing that you are talking about, right? The exact thing that you're talking about. So we can't let that go. I'm not gonna let it go, right? And it ain't to be in conflict, right? They steal from us anyway, right? The damn man, for God's sake, you know, this is use God, right? And you don't have to apologize for using God, right? It just wasn't used back in those ancient times, right? They had the netters and the netteroos and they were printed. That European Western shit, man, the invasions of Turkeys and all that, man, they implemented that God word, right? It's all good, right? But it's better when you know your history, right? So my point in that is I'll be damned if I stop speaking about our hidden history, and I dig the love and the harmony, right? But these people ain't having it, bro. You know, when are we gonna come to and be on the same page? I don't think that was even the intention of creation, for us to be on one page. I.e., they got people that are doctors, they, you know, Imhotep, right? You know, they got people that are, archaeologists, architects, on and on and on, right? And so we're not meant to be on the same page. But what you're talking about, harmony, I hope that's the extent that you're talking about is harmony and not being alike.
Okay, so let me say one more thing, man, and then I'm gonna be done. I'll let y'all roll with it too, right? So there's no I haven't ran into any teachings in Kemet that teaches a people to go take a land and kill everything in sight, right? Right. I don't now. I'm not saying that Kemet didn't have wars. I am not saying that. I'm not saying that Kemet didn't expand their territory, their lands, right? Right. But what I'm saying is, King, like they didn't have no God telling them to go kill up all the people and take their land and take the women and the little girls, right? They didn't have a law that tell you to kill the babies of of a certain people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, not that I ran into King, like so you know we don't have a writings talking about it's okay to enslave a people the way we was enslaved by the transatlantic slave trade. So there's really not no teachings of that, man, in Kemetic thought, right? But you find those teachings all through the Bible and the Quran, King, on how these people are supposed to take and kill all the people and take the land and the little kids. You feel me? Like, yeah, but that's all. That's all. I mean,
Yeah, so I was just going to share too, man. Jamie, and you'll remember this. You know, I said to you, man, I want to figure out a way, man, that we can unite all the people. You know, I got a lot of. I'll start that over. So Prince, you might find this familiar or similar. My personal experience with what you're talking about, man.
I was still waiting to respond to your first.
Okay, hold on.
never
Just let me
Right.
finish this because I
Mhm.
think it compliments you, man. And so I remember talking to Jamie about, I just want to integrate all the people, man. You know, I got some good white people in my life, man. You know that, and I don't want them left behind. I don't want them to feel, segregated, all that kind of shit. And then Jamie talked to me about that, man. And so, and that's why I put these motherfuckers are not willing to do this, right? I talked to some of the other white people that have helped me, right? You know, that have been in my corner. And it gets to a point where you can see that they ain't for it, right? They gotta support that. They gotta support that white end, man, and that evasive part that that unites, as you talking about, man, as I was talking about, man. And it's a shame, man. It hurts me bad, you know. So, I just wanted to share that personal experience as I see relative to what you were talking about.
Can I say something real quick?
Of course.
Okay, I totally understand and agree with what Jamie and what you were sharing, Lo, and I sincerely understand what Prince is saying. And to me, that video was about etiquette, which to me is about balance. In every part of my life, there's been etiquette, whether it was bowling. You don't get up there when someone else is bowling and throw your ball and screw them up. Whatever it is, there's always an etiquette to follow. That brings us this balance. We have lots of family members that still practice Christianity. I always try to just keep, I love them, and I continue to love them, and I try to accept their views, and I also share my views with them. I've learned so much from Sankofa 180 and all your research and all your, presentations, and I think we all would love for everyone to just get along and be accepting of each other. I'm perplexed on how you do that without etiquette and balance and standing firm in your own beliefs and your own research and your own truths that you've learned. Do I hope that they come around and see the truth? You better believe it. But it doesn't make me love them any less. But I thank you. That was a really good, and you guys really shared really well. And I feel like I want to sit and cry, but I'm really feel passionate about this. And thank you again for your presentation, Lo.
Hey, you buck up, lady.
I will.
Hey, Prince, me and Jamie went at this, man, often. We went at this, and then Sekou was, this is real quick. Sekou was talking about, where in history can you find that a civilization gave up their spiritual axiom and flourished, right? So that's something to consider. Go ahead, Prince, man. And thank you, man. Thank you for letting me share.
Yeah. No problem. I don't know. I just think I just see shit different. That's all, man. I get it. I do get it. But, and it's important. And it's just, I don't know. Times have changed. Things are different. And things are happening in the spiritual world. And we are more awake now. So many people are. And they're just looking past all of the research and everything, man. Look, all I'm saying is this. Get your meditation down, get your spirituality right, because I understand, what you're saying, and I truly do. I get it, and it's not something you want to give up. Um, you know, everybody in this life is on a different path, a different journey. I see the minds is on a euphoric spaceship flying through the galaxy on this whole mind trip, but trip of visuals that I'm gonna see, and just some sci-fi things that I only can understand because I am where I'm at in my spirituality. But I just wish that if people could see past this and the big picture, and I guess like y'all say, when y'all, I just want to say when people talk the way you guys talk about, that sounds good, then it just makes me feel like, then what is it all for? But through my journey in life. I even being here at this place, you know, I am not judged. I walk around with my t-shirt off playing basketball. I got tattoos. White people are like, hey, whatever. It's like when Malcolm went to Mecca. First, I was in New York dealing with, Farrakhan and me talking all this white power, this and that, living at the plantation, working on Ocean Reef community, that Ocean Reef joint when I was telling y'all the issues I have. Then I come here and there's white people everywhere, abundance of them, and they embrace me. Hey, what's up? First night I got here, I partied all night. Somebody gave me a car. Now, if I would have kept the same spectrum
What?
that I had when I,
What?
yeah,
You
I have
talking
a
about up in
Volkswagen.
Steamboat, they hook you up.
They gave me a car. This white dude just said, "Hey, somebody gave me a car, so I'm giving you a car." And it's a Volkswagen. I gotta put the front end on it, but just my whole view of it's like Malcolm when he came back and he said, I was over there praising and it was all colors. You had whites, black, Muslims, Indians, all different races praising Allah, their God, their belief. But that's just what I'm saying. So I come here and it's totally embraced. It's total brotherhood. It's just total like you go over here, they're cool. You go over here, and everybody got their little group, and a lot of them don't even know each other. But I know everybody. I know a lot, so many people. I got so many numbers. But just my whole point is, I never thought that I would ever find a place like this. Look, a bus driver was getting ready to put me off the bus on my way up here because I was short $7. I couldn't get it off my card. This old white lady heard him and she was coming out of the store. And she was like, oh my gosh, you can't do him like that. And the bus driver was like, oh, I'll leave him. I've left many people. And I was like, yeah, ma'am, he's mean, ain't he? And this is how I was talking to her. I was like, he's mean, ain't he? She was a very old lady. And so she was like, he sure is, young man. And she reached in her purse, gave this man $7. And then she told him, she said, and you're not a nice bus driver. And I was like, he sure isn't. You know what I'm saying? Like that was my grandma. But just that love and what I got. And then I get here and there's more love. And when I got in my dorm room, one of the dudes wouldn't let me go to sleep unless I had 2 pillows and a blanket and I was comfortable. Was the TV all right? I mean, it was just unreal. Then the next day, I meet another guy and he gives me a car. It's just like boom, 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 boom. Blessings on top of blessings. And I've had to stop and suck it all in because I kept pinching myself. Is this real? Is this really happening? Is this really a place like this? I just got on a job. I was going to be at the rodeo, but the rodeo was only going to have me work Fridays and Saturdays, and they was going to find out what was going to be up. So they switched me with this dude who somehow got into it with the guy he worked with the year before, and the guy seen him and said, hey, I didn't put in the paperwork for him not to be rehired. So he said, what I'm going to do is just switch him with Sherrod. So they switched me over here to a new established range restaurant that just got built. I'm the first ones walking through the door. I showed my ass my first night. My boss already knows I'm gonna be his go-to man. I kept taking up slack. I'm seeing dirt on the ground. I'm picking it up. I'm making a sandwich. I done already got down 2 stages. One sandwich stage and another, the China stage, the Chinese food. Got them down. No, hey, they call them out. I'm making the shits. So I'm putting that effort in to allow my blessings to blossom more. But what I'm saying is, I wouldn't have never thought of a place like this. If this is just a little bit of piece of heaven to me, then I'm accepting it and I'm loving it and I'm not gonna let it go. And I feel like this, for my journey, this is my spot. This will be a place I call home. And I'm just now getting started. But um, that's my whole basis on what I was saying on just, it's gotta come to a point where it's just peace and love. You know what I mean? This hate, this separation, this diversity, man, damn, don't y'all, wouldn't that be a beautiful place, man? It was just, big ass party, bro, and everybody's just chilling, man, and it wasn't all this motherfucking color shit, bro. Like, I hate introducing, when I tell a story, I hate saying this white girl. I just want to say these people. It was this girl at the party I met, you know what I'm saying? Or my homeboy. And I ain't got to say that he's white or he's black or she's Mexican or, you know what I'm saying? Just, I met this girl yesterday. Oh, yeah, bro, yeah, she was fine as hell. And I never mentioned the color she was. But that's all I'm saying, you know what I mean?
So let me share this, man. I think it's totally asinine to think that we don't want peace and harmony and unity and all that, right? I think it is, right? Because that's definitely what Sankofa is all about, man. That's what I'm all about without Sankofa. And once again, that was our heritage. That was our culture, right? They invited these Caucasians in, right? With hospitality, right? That's our culture, right? Damn right we want it back. We just want the freedom.
You're not, it's not gonna get back. None of that's coming back
we
though,
just
but none of that's coming back. You could just blow that shit out your ass. Ain't none of this shit you thinking gonna happen gonna come back.
You was just talking about how come we
No,
can't get
I'm talking, you're saying that whole, this is where we was, and it's black this and black that, and it came from black, all that shit, it ain't gonna happen. That's gone, it's bye-bye, that's history. Yeah, you can teach all you want, but that day's never gonna show its face,
so
ever.
I'm confused.
Not while,
I'm
I am
confused.
too, I am too,
I'm
I am
confused
too,
with what you're talking about.
I am too.
Because
I
I
am
just
too.
complimented what you were talking about.
Yeah.
I referenced where it was taken out, where all this confusion and frustration and division is at. I referenced where it was prominent, right? And so the reason why it ain't gonna come back will be because we don't stand up for our history, right? And then I want to say this part too. I listened to SETI and then I can't remember who else, the other couple too that I listened to, but they were talking about the Cro-Magnon Neanderthals and them living in caves and under the ground and stuff like that. And so you know, I get to do a little bit more history on those, because obviously what in my mindset is still that the Africans were Egypt, Africa was still the main land, right? Where the main people. But somewhere these Neanderthals were prominent too. And Jamie might have more on that. I don't know.
On the what now?
You know, the Neanderthals, you know, in Europe and you know, further up in the cold lands, you know.
In the Caucasus Mountains,
Yeah, but see, now I was watching this other video too, man, and I read some stuff too. I don't just watch video; I read a lot too, and I can't sequence everything. You know, it's getting better.
Yeah.
But they were talking about the Caucasus Mountains. Doesn't mean that there was white people there. That's the name of the mountain, right?
Caucasian, Caucasus,
and
that's not
from what
coincidence.
from just that
Not a coincidence.
just that literature I read, it didn't say that it made a big distinction, and it wasn't necessarily Caucasians. And I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying what I read. It wasn't necessarily the Caucasians, and people have tied it into the Caucasus Mountains being Caucasian. That's all I'm saying. I don't say that as fact. I'm just saying that as some information that I read and then watched. So that's the end of my presentation. And you guys did a great job interacting. And Prince, man, I love the passion that you got, man. And I'm not saying you're right or wrong, man. I remember being, you know, in similar mindsets. Right?
I got you.
Really familiar, man. And then I study, man, and I study a lot of stuff, not just this, a lot of stuff, right? So, no, I really appreciate the panel. You guys did a good job. Jamie over there with all the controls and stuff, and man, thank you for waking your boy up. And so, you know, don't forget to like and subscribe, and go ahead and share these videos. You know, share them with somebody, and invite people to come on in. You come on in. Right, and share what you want to share. We open to communication, but you know, etiquette is the key, man, and we're gonna keep on practicing on that.
Hey, yeah, I'm just, you know, hey, listen, man, like, you know, I wish we could, you know, but here's the thing, man, it ain't gonna be fair unless we are given what the hell we got coming. If we was on an even playing field, put us on an even playing field economically, politically, right, financially, right. You know, you put us on an even playing field, right, and you know, yeah. Now, you know, I can see it, but you know, they had a 400+ years head start on us, King. right? A 400-year plus head start, man. And now you want us to, let's let's come together and be happy.
Or
You know what I'm
expect them to
saying?
do it. Or to
You know,
expect them to
nah,
do it.
man, that's not gonna fucking happen, right? They're not gonna put you in a position where they're gonna have to fucking compete for the top spot. Okay, so listen, man. The whole object is to keep their foot on your goddamn neck, and that's what they're gonna do. Okay, that's the whole object. Now you want love and peace. They love that about you. You know what I'm saying? Because goddamn it, you ain't finna bust a grape. That's what they saying. That's how they feel
That's
about
what
you.
they think.
I'm just trying to tell you. Listen, this is how they feel about you, King. I ain't saying it. I'm just saying this is what they do. This is what they gonna look at you and say. Oh, he just want love and harmony, peace and harmony. So we can get him with, I'm saying, hey brother, let's just come together. You know what I mean? Type shit, right? I mean,
It's
I
tired of bomb
understand,
down.
and
It's
I'm not
tired of
saying,
bomb
and
down.
I'm not saying that everybody is bad, man. They're not, man. I mean, because we got some of my own people that's even worse for us. But you know what I'm saying? That's not the point I'm making here. What I'm saying is this. You know what I'm saying? Before we can come together as one, let's even let's even the playing field in every which way. You feel me? And that's the only way it's gonna work. Otherwise, no, man. Because like I said, we 400 plus years behind, King. You know what I'm saying? 400 plus, right? So they already got a government, they already got a financial system,
But you
and
just got my water,
every
bro?
and everything else.
Huh?
Yeah, and you know, man, Jamie, they sprinkled us with Barack.
I just grabbed it and brought it out,
The
man.
majority is gonna think, we the highest position. We know damn well that the president is not the highest position, right? So, once again, we'll tickle you pink for a minute, incite you to continue to back down, and what it consistently looks like is being obedient to their bullshit, right? Which they stole our shit and utilizing our stuff to gain that obedience, right? Which we didn't impart, trying to control somebody's motherfucking mind with lies, right? So the big difference. Big difference.
Hey, listen, man. I give, Barack Obama, but let me tell you something, King. Like Barack Obama did some foul shit, man.
Yeah,
Foul shit.
there ain't
You
no
feel me?
question. There ain't
You
no
know what I'm
question. All
saying?
I'm
I
saying,
mean, I just can't respect the King. I mean, what he did, and he did this shit because see, this is what Muammar Gaddafi was trying to do. Same thing that BRICS doing right now, getting their own money and backing it by natural resources. This is the same thing Muammar Gaddafi was trying to do. And this is what the reason why they killed that man, why Obama and them killed this man. You feel me? Because this man was getting ready to have he's finna get them African countries to come on in with and have their money backed by natural resources, opposed to American dollar that's backed by nothing. You feel me? You see what I'm saying? So this was the reason why this man went over there and killed all them damn people and bombed all them damn African countries over there, and then went over there and killed Muammar Gaddafi. You know what I'm saying? They used that man as a puppet to 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 uh to put that destruction on Africa, man, like he did, man. And he did that, man. And the people used him to do that. You know what I'm saying? They used a black president to drop all them bombs on them black people over there, man. And I just don't. I mean, I can't. Yeah, that's just foul to me, man.
yeah. So my
Can I,
point of
can I
that
say,
is, so hold on, Kerry. So my point of that is, the president ain't in charge, and they gave us so he got that position, and that was supposed to solidify. All I'm saying is, it ain't enough. It ain't enough, right? Right. So it fucked up people's mind in the position. So go ahead, Kerry.
I'm not going to get into the Barack Obama thing because I think he was great. I love
Thank
Barack
you.
Obama.
Thank you. I'm with you, Carrie.
Okay.
Well, you're
And
missing the
I
point.
want to say
You're missing.
something. I'm
Hold on,
not
Gary.
missing the
Hold on.
point. I understand
Not
about
you.
the
I'm not
bombing.
saying you missing the point. I'm saying that the point is being missed when Prince responds that way. Because all I was saying is that it give us a little tease, right? And that tease is fabricated as well. He is not the top person, so we're believing a lie, let alone. And then the other stuff, is just what happened, right? We get it, right? Misuse
Right.
again, misuse again of
Okay.
the Black divinity.
Right. I understand. I wanted to just say this. This is, and then I'm going to get off. But Prince, I'm really proud of you. I'm glad that you found your niche. I believe that you're so accepted and welcomed because you have gained that inner God within you, that strength within you, and it radiates.
Thank
And
you so much.
that's
Thank you
what
so
I
much. I
believe.
really needed to hear that. I really did, because sometimes I really feel like I'm so wrong, because it's like I want to generate so much love, and then it's like shot back at me as if I'm in the wrong space. Like I'm not supposed to feel that way. You know what I mean? And I had a conversation with my brother, and he had said the same thing. He said, "No, bro." He said, "I'm like that, but you just see the good in everybody. That's just you. You've always been like that ever since you was a kid. You always been friendly. You always want to have a bunch of friends. You just always see the good in everybody. And that may be your downfall, but that's you." You know, and that gave me the strength to really just keep being the way I am. I love everybody. Like my family's a mixture of white, black, Mexican, Indian, Jamaican. So I don't see color. My radiation of light is just, we all people. And I didn't used to feel like that, Carrie. And I'm getting emotional behind it because I have grown. I have grown into a person who wants to just love everybody. I just want the whole world to just stop looking at color, you know? And I'm a hard dude. I've been locked up. I've been shot. And I'm telling you right now, if I lost a lot of homeboys through a lot of bullshit growing up, a lot of pro-black, trying to be a certain way to please a culture. Like, I missed out on a lot of my journey in life because I didn't put enough in me. I put it all in my people. And I wasn't accepted if I didn't do this, or I wasn't accepted if I did that, or I was a nerd to my culture if I read books and I wanted to be on the chess club. I was looked at as, I didn't fit in with the blacks. I didn't fit in with the Mexicans. I didn't fit in with the whites. So I felt I never fit in, but I found my inner peace in me when I had my daughter. And it wasn't all the way there, but over the past couple of years, that's where I'm at. That's where I've evolved to. That I just want it's like this tree right here, Carrie. Let me show you something. I want to show you something.
Okay.
It's like this tree right here. Somebody in this house said to me, all the religions, Cash, how do you see it? And I said, bro, this tree is God. The tree is the life source. I'll say that. I won't use God, but it's the life source. And all the apples on that tree is every religion, but it's still on the tree of life. You understand me? The life source. Yeah. We're all still connected to this source, which is our living God, in a sense. Whatever word they want to use for who is behind all of this, that's the tree. And all the apples is all the different opinions and all the different thoughts. But if they would just understand we're still on the tree, then everybody would see it differently. And that's all I'm saying. I get everybody's passion. I get everybody. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, since you've been on these meetings and stuff, I've seen the growth in you. I've seen you realize that inner confidence and acceptance and love and all of that comes from within you. And I see the growth in Lo, and I've seen it in Jamie. I see it in myself. And it's okay. It's okay, and I'm so happy that you radiate that, and that's why these people are accepting you and loving you and caring about you, and that's really cool. Lo, I don't know about Jamie because I haven't met him in person, but Lo gets the same thing. There's so many people that absolutely he radiates this confidence within him, and people are drawn to him
Oh yeah,
wherever
and I
we
can
go.
tell. And I can
Yeah,
tell too. I can tell.
right.
Like he's not like this on the show. I know that when he's in front of people, he's all happy-go-lucky and smiling
No,
all
man,
day.
get up off that shit.
You know you are, bro. You
No,
know
no,
you are. You
listen,
just
listen.
smiling and
I'm the
cheesing.
same way I am right now in any motherfucking where I go.
But with more love, bro. But with more
It's
love. You can knock it all you
circumstantial.
want, but it's more love.
I'm not knocking it. All I'm saying is circumstantial. I'm not changing faces, right?
I
And
hear
then
you.
and then again, I'm not gonna ride that pony of self-pity that you're talking about either. You know, because we
Oh, man,
complimented
no
you a lot.
self-pity. There's no self-pity in
Listen.
me, bro.
I complimented you a lot, right? And you said I feel like, you know, the description that you gave, and
Right.
and if you feel less than loved, and from the conversation we had just now, if you feel less than loved, less than appreciated, less than valued, that's your own shit,
Yeah,
right?
I wouldn't be on the show if
Because
I
I'm
felt
just
that.
telling you what I heard.
And I'm telling you what you misheard. Well, you
Because I
misheard.
love you.
You
Because I
misheard
love
it.
you, man.
And I know you love me, and you misheard it then.
Yeah, and I just gave you a bunch of compliments on what you were sharing.
Yeah, and it
So,
wasn't coming from you that I was reflecting that's how people made me feel. All right, that was not from what. So you misinterpret.
Well, let's get back to the top to the business.
Yeah.
Hey, but let me
All
say
right, I'm
this
out.
though. But
I gotta jump off. But peace and love. I love all y'all, but I gotta get up off of here. All right.
all right,
I love y'all
all
so
right,
much.
King.
Later.
All
Later.
right, peace. Hey, so I just wanted to just say, man, that and I know how it goes. I mean, I know Obama didn't do this shit. It wasn't his decision. I know how that shit go. I'm just saying he just happened to be the president that had to make that move, make those moves. You know what I'm saying?
They
Because if
pawned
it
it.
wasn't him, it was gonna be another one. I mean, because they wasn't gonna let that happen. They didn't want that. They wasn't gonna let that happen. You feel me?
Right.
And I get that, man. It wasn't his damn decision. I'm saying that it's the powers that the powers that be that that controls that controls the president. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying that's just but that's they try to say that this man was doing this and doing that to his country, man. That man, they didn't have no homeless. They had zero homeless in this country, man. They didn't have to pay for education or medical. All that
Right.
shit was free, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, and nobody was homeless. Like what we can't say that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So and that's this type of shit I'm talking about. But they try to say, oh, he was doing this to his people, he was doing that to his people, and the whoop had to kill him. Okay, so just so so why you ain't ran your ass over there and jumped on Russia or China or North Korea?
Right. Right.
Why you ain't ran your ass over there?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because you're a bully and you're a coward, and that's why you ain't gonna run your ass over there. But hey, go ahead, King. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say one of those videos addressed that they can't have that happen. And Prince is our boy, man. We already know that, man. That's our dude, man.
That's my man. I love him, man. Hey, listen, I wanted to show this real quick.
Yeah, let's do that.
These brothers, man. Now understand this. These Hebrew Israelites, man, whether you believe it or not, these Hebrews, right? These Hebrews, as far as I know. Now, I'm not gonna bank on it. I mean, I'm not saying that it's a fact, but okay, but these is Hebrews is what they're saying. All right, now, so but you know how this is, but people put claim to something, but this is in Georgia. All right, so just check it out, man.
What's his name? Grandmaster. Okay, we watch the videos all the time. Really excited. I was doing this back in the '60s, man, and we didn't have any support. We didn't have any support, so I wanted to come out. I wanted to just, I'm too old now to be standing up and all this heat and stuff, but I wanted to come out and I wanted to support, because I know you need support. We got to say, a lot of people can say
Not in my lifetime. In your lifetime.
Yes, sir.
Before you leave and go home to glory, you can come visit me again. Thank you.
Where can I find all those chapters you were talking about?
I'll give you the right word. First book of Enoch, Yahweh's name is stored. It doesn't say that Yahweh's name is stored, it is a lie. It is a rewrite. It is a white man's interpretation. It is a book that they destroyed for 800 years.
So where can I get that?
You have to see me again and I'll send it to you for free. Send me the link to
Yeah, you're gonna have to send that one because we can't hear it.
not gonna find it in the store.
Can't hear it that clear.
Let it be sold. It's true.
Whoa.
It might be just on my phone, so keep playing. Keep playing.
All right, let's get started. Let's go make some history, y'all. Thank you, sir.
Black men. Squad up! Squad up! Squad up! Squad up!
Everybody fall into formation. You was out here earlier, we showed you how to make a formation. You were not here to copy off the people beside you. Squad leaders, you already know your position. Fall into formation, no talking. Fall into formation, no talking. This is not a demonstration. This is not a goddamn protest. We ain't here to fucking overcome. We done with that shit. This is a black militia. If you fall in, you follow simple instructions. If you can't do that, get the hell out of my formation right now. Fall in, you line up behind the person in front of you. Make sure you got enough arm distance so the tip of your fingers touches their shoulders. Your weapons should be pointed down at the ground. Nobody's face on any trick. Your weapon should be on safe. If you have a weapon and it's not loaded, it is illegal. It must be loaded to overside. If you have a pistol, you have to have your perfect point. No concealed weapon. If you have a concealed weapon, you're going to consider you a threat. Not the police. We win. Came out here to represent another group. We find out about it, we gonna shoot your ass. This is NFAC. This ain't motherfucking Black Lives Matter, none of that other bullshit. Because they don't pick up guns. We do. You ain't talking to black people for real. You ain't ready to get your fucking life and get the fuck out of here right now. I'ma wait. Because somebody got some motherfucking pussy. Because when the bullets start flying, we ain't out here to show. You didn't come out here today ready to kill a motherfucker, then leave now. We gonna wait. We got a couple of rules. No cell phone. I said you trying to live stream, build your fucking crib in my formation, you might get shot. On your goddamn phone, you can get some goddamn body killed. Now let me tell y'all some good shit. Out of all the people who talked all that shit on the internet, and all y'all motherfuckers talking about y'all about it and y'all done had enough. Look how many showed up. These are real motherfuckers right here. I want y'all to understand that at the same time we doing this, There's another group just like you in Phoenix, Arizona right now listening to me, looking at me. We in two cities on both coasts at the same damn time. NFAC is a black militia. And for all the white folks listening, we come to put you motherfuckers on notice. We tired of talking to you. We tired of working with you. We tired of all that shit. Y'all want to keep doing shit to us? From now on, whatever you do to us, we're gonna do to you. Then maybe y'all want to talk about that shit. We don't threaten, we don't scare, because we don't care. We have nothing left to lose. Nothing. So everybody out here, we're gonna take a small walk. I'm gonna let y'all know now that where we going, we ain't never been before. They're not gonna like us. Under no circumstance are you to point your weapon at anyone because you feel like it. In the state of Georgia, you have the right to stand your ground. So if someone points something at you, kill them. Don't shoot them, kill them. Y'all hold up, they've been doing this all day. Everybody who's ex-military, raise your hand. Yeah. Yeah. I want everybody who's ex-military to keep an eye out on the people who are not. I'm expecting more from you than I am from these civilians. What they doing is brave, but you know that. We do this for a living. Somebody don't know how to fire their weapon, this is not the time to learn. If you don't know how to use what you're holding, get the fuck out the way and let us do that. You know what we're doing. Sisters, I know y'all trying to be brave, but brothers, protect these queens today. Even if you got to give your motherfucking life to do it. To the people that's watching me on live stream, in the UK, Jamaica, Haiti, Dominican Republic, Nigeria, Lagos, Ghana, Accra, Mozambique, Colombia, Argentina. To all the people in the South Pacific that called in, that's watching what's happening in America. Today, we make history. Not since 1906 have black people gotten together like this. It's been over 100 years, y'all. Don't y'all think it's motherfucking time? Yeah. Y'all ready to do this shit? Yeah. The NFC? Yeah. NFC? Yeah. Make some motherfucking noise there. Let's take a walk. This is what I need y'all to do. We got three positions. Right now, you at rest, and you chilling. When I tell you to, I'm gonna say NFC. When I say NFC, I want your weapon just like this. And I want your feet together. When I say NFC. And then what I want y'all to do is you're gonna turn to your right. And you're gonna look at the person behind you. And then we're gonna leave with that end first. We're going out in that street, and we're going that way. Stay together, stay in formation. If you're a spectator, you can follow. You can videotape all you want, but nobody in this formation would do that shit. You're a part of this already. Nobody is to point their weapon at anybody until we do. After that, it's all we fall. I don't give a fuck. Kill every motherfucker you can. Y'all ready? Yeah. Oh. Bro, why you load your weapon breath. Take a breath. Okay. Do not have a round chamber. Do not chamber around. Everybody turn to the right. Secure the getaway formation. Shooter, stand by. Almost drones up in 60 seconds. You ready? All on the Grandmaster J. All on the Grandmaster J. NFAC. All on it. All on it. When we get in the street, y'all gonna put pressure, all right? Stop rapping. Stop rapping. Let's go have some fun. Wow! It's history. 2020.
I'm saying spiritually and all.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Ain't no better.
Got weapons, get information. Get in line. Everybody in line with weapons. Armed men, get in line. Line up properly. Stretch it out, get your facing right. Pick that formation for me. Fix that formation for me. Fix that formation for me, brothers and sisters up at the front. Tighten up your line. Fix that formation for me. Fix that formation. Fix that formation. Get your spacing right. Get your spacing right. Get your spacing right.
Dress the camera. Get your arms up. Tighten them up, Delta.
Come on, move up. Move up.
Get this shit together. Tighten it up. Y'all ready? Let's go. Let's go.
NLC.
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 We don't chant. We don't do that shit. We're not no motherfucking protesters. All right? I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want them to know I'm coming.
Hey, so that's just that. It's a whole hour, man. They just marching, right? And they going through Georgia. They going through, I guess one of the whitest parts of Georgia, right? You know what I'm saying? And So, but it says that so it's the NFC is the it says Hebrew Israelites. That's what made me say that. But I see that they had, the fist with the, with the unk up there. So it might be, whatever. But that's it stands for not fucking around coalition. Right. Hey, you on mute,
Yeah,
King.
yeah, I got it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah. I've seen that. I haven't seen that one before, but I've seen a few of them before.
yeah, and so and then there's another, they got several of these now. They got several of these because I have another one too. Where these brothers is done, they go all over, man, just like these brothers, they go all over too. But you got one right there in Phoenix, Arizona.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
You got one right there in Phoenix, right there. You know what I'm saying? The same people. And they deep. I mean, if you seen how many it was, there was hundreds and hundreds of people there,
Man,
King.
no doubt,
And
man.
every single one of them is strapped with some kind of assault rifle, some kind of automatic. They finna. Hey, listen, that's and so you think about them and what they but then what you think they got at home? What you think they left at home? You know what I'm saying? Where they not at home, they out there on the front lines. So I know what they left at home. They left some shit at home too.
Yeah, without a
You
doubt.
know,
Without
you
a
know what I'm
doubt.
saying? Like, they ain't left home naked. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean, so that, and I was telling, my wife, man, like, listen, man, like, when you get done with the armed forces, you got to deal with these militias, and then after you get done with the militias, you got to deal with the people that just own firearms.
Yeah.
You got to deal with them motherfuckers. So you got a whole lot of fighting to do. Is what I'm saying. It's a whole lot of line of defenses when you fucking with America. I mean, that's just one thing for sure. But you just what was the thing is what you got to worry about is America turning on America.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah,
And there's
but
a whole lot of that going on, man. So the racial groups, positions, titles, all that shit, man. That correlates to Prince's tongue. When is all this shit going in? Well, it ain't probably going in. And it's sad, man.
because you would have to get rid of you would have to get all religious faiths and beliefs. You would have to get rid of that, man, or you had to set it to a side. And how do you do that, man? How do you set your God to a side? Maybe you can. I don't know, but I'm just saying, But so you would have. It seemed like you would have to let that go. Go with free thinking, and let's come together and let's make this work, right? You know what I mean? But you got too many religious, you know, beliefs that's totally against that. You got too many political beliefs that's gonna separate the people. You know what I mean? You want to vote for Trump and the other cat want to vote for
Scientists,
Santos. Yeah, right. You know what
all
I'm
them
saying? Then the other cats want to vote for whoever on the other side and the other side. You know what I mean? Like, so separated the whole people on that. You know what I mean? And it's just too much, man. And it's built like that. It's designed like that because do you think that these politicians are really opposed of each other? No, man. They're making laws. They're agreeing to it, man. Behind, behind the scenes, they're gonna show you what they want you to see, and that's it, man. They show you that we're against each other. I hate this. Yeah, some of them may do. Man. But for the most part, these people, man, it's all they're all on the same team, man. It ain't. They got you, but they got us believing that it's a Democratic and a Republican Party, and y'all all, but the whole, you know, the 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 whole concept of your, of your long term goal is the same. You know what I'm saying? Now, You know, it may be a fighter who makes the most money, who gets the money, who gets this, who gets that, who can do this, who can do that. You know, it might be a little tug of war with that, but your overall goal is the same. Your overall goal is the same, man. You know, the only fight y'all got, man, is who gonna get the richest during these terms. Who's gonna get paid? Who gonna be able to put the most money in their pocket on each one of these terms? I mean, that's just what it's about, man. And how we gonna convince the sheep out here, you know what I mean, that we are for the sheep and not for putting this money in my pocket. See, that's what it is. Pimping. They pimping. Put you know what I'm saying? Put it in my pocket. That's PIMP. Put it in my pocket. That's what it is. And that's what they doing. They pimping your ass and they pimping you for a vote. Get you going out there and vote for, vote for whoever, you know what I'm saying? And they gonna promise we're gonna get this done and this done and this done, and he ain't did shit. You know what I'm saying? Not nothing. Not shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, ain't this shit. You know, I ain't vote for nobody, right? But I see how, Biden was going for, he gonna do this, he gonna do that, man. But as soon as he got in, man, did he make a law, for black people, for getting killed and beat up like he did for the few Chinese that got beat up, killed. He made a whole law for them, quick, fast, in a hurry. But but we've been asking for one for how long? You know,
Oh, honey.
yeah,
Oh,
you know
honey.
what I'm saying? Right. You know what I mean? But we can't get no law, but they can get one after just a few of them get beat up. I mean, so, and this was this Biden, you know what I'm saying? This who, and this it's just, come on, man. They play these people like like pianos, King. And people just go right along with it. Oh no, he ain't did, he did this, he did that. Well, man, listen, man, do you think that these people are gonna stop doing that? He giving all our money away. You damn right he is. Just like the last motherfucker gave all the money away, and the last motherfucker before him gave a whole lot of money away, and the motherfucker before it ain't gonna stop. Shit don't stop. Shit, it don't stop, man. People give a whole lot of bread away, man. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
crazy.
And and now all this shit finna crumble. American people don't know what they don't have a clue, and they ain't gonna give you no chance to prepare for it. It's gonna be a blind side. You know what I'm saying? You know, we're no longer, and it happens, King. I mean, every civilization falls. Every civilization falls, and this civilization is falling just as exactly how Rome fell. Exactly how Rome fell. It's just how this joint right here is going down, man. This is a direct repeat of Rome right here. It's a repeat. It's a direct repeat, man. And they don't, and they these people don't even see it, man. They think that they know better. They can do better.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's just crazy, man. But hey, man, this is just a repeat. It's a straight repeat of Rome, King. And Rome, just like Rome fell, this joint just they finna fall straight on their face, man. Except for, see, they so proud and so they egos, the ego is so, they just got so much ego, man, that they would literally, man, they would rather, you know end the world than to submit to Russia and China and become third on the list.
Yeah, that's cold. That's cold.
Ooh, they rather end the world than become third, because then they know that they're gonna become a damn near like a third world country, because it's gonna be about, your money ain't worth shit. So what is you got to trade with, and what do you have that we need? You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, for real, because they stopped trading with your money. So your money is dead. I mean, so what do you have that we need that we can trade with you for the shit that you need? What you got?
Right. Yeah. It's
I mean,
crazy, man.
what you got, man? You got some nuclear bombs. Well, guess who got a little more?
Right, right.
Right? Come on, man. Like you got some protection. Well, guess who got a little more protection?
Yeah, United States is resilient, man. No, we're gonna see what
Yeah,
happens.
yeah. Now that right there, King, you got to give it to them. These people, they resilient. They really are. And it's real interesting. I've been just sitting back, and I'm
Yeah,
just
it's
trying to
been,
see how they playing it. But I see that they're not giving the American people a chance. Is what I'm
right.
saying. You
That's
know what
the
I'm
point.
saying?
Yeah,
I
exactly.
see that part, and that's just to me that's just kind of cold. You know what I'm saying? Because what's going to happen when you have to tell them, but at the time that you're telling them, there's no time to prepare
Yeah.
because, right? There's no time to prepare
Yeah,
because,
yeah,
you know,
9/11. 9/11,
y-
right?
right?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. Bush tucked tail and ran, right?
he
Yeah,
knew
see that?
he knew what time it was. He knew exactly what time it was. He knew what he knew what it was. But like I said, man, like we're in a tough situation, King. Our people don't see it. They ain't giving us a heads up. Uh, but yeah, but yeah, man. Uh, that was a good presentation, King. I like that, man. You
It
know,
sparked a whole lot. It sparked a whole lot of conversation, man. And I just love Prince's passion, man. And I just remember being in those spots, man. And the only way that I would have stayed in that spot, I imagine, is if I didn't study and research. You know, if I just stayed stuck on what I thought and believed, man, and my personal interest that was prominent right there. If I hadn't jumped off into this new shit, man, and it ain't new, it's just new to me. Uh, and I don't know. I can relate to him. I can relate to where he's at. And so let's get off and talk a little bit.
yeah. Hey, so family, listen, man. Thanks for joining us, man. We appreciate you, man. Uh, like we say, don't believe us. Do the research. Look it up, check it out, see what you find. You know what I'm saying? Look, family, don't be afraid, man. Come on in, man. You can come in. We ain't, we you know, we ain't, we're fair, right? Come on in, man, and join us, man, and tell us what you think, what you thought, right? You know, you're more than welcome. Uh, whatever subjects you want to bring up, whatever you want to talk about, almost anything, right? But
Almost.
yeah, almost everything, right? But yeah, and then don't forget, family. The first Sunday every month, man, we got that book read, man, and it's important, family. It's important to know history, man. History, I'm telling you, history will can see if you know history, no one can trick you. You can't be tricked. As long as you know a little bit of history, man, you just gotta know a little. You ain't got to know a whole lot, but just know a little bit of history, man. Know enough to where they can't trick you, man. Right? You know, I appreciate you know learning what I've learned, man. I'm still new to this too. You know what I mean? And I'm still trying to I'm still learning a whole lot, man. And this is one of the things that never quits giving, man. It never stops giving, man. It's always giving you something new, man. You're always gonna find something that you didn't know, man. And it's just so amazing, family. Y'all gotta get just listen, man. It's amazing, man. And you run into some really good, nice resources, man. Some nice um financial tips, man. Some investments. Some of these stocks that I put out here, man. That family, you should really you should really check out, man. You know, these really good stocks about that lithium.
Yeah, Carrie
Yeah, you
invested
gotta
in that.
yeah, you
She
gotta
bought the stock in that.
yeah. So did y'all went through E-Trade or what y'all go through?
I don't know which one she went through.
Hey, I need to copy. I need to find out, man, because I was planning on doing it, but I ain't do the work yet.
Yeah, and
But yeah,
I'm pretty sure she did it, man. She said she was going to, but I'm not.
yeah, I
I'm
want
not.
to.
I'm not totally sure, but I think so.
Yeah, yeah, if she did, I want to piggyback, man. If not, I'd love to we get together, man, and figure this thing out, man, because he said that we had to go through one of those E-Trade or what was the other one? Ameritrade,
Yeah, maybe.
something like that, one of those two, right? So we can go through one of those companies. But yeah, anyway, but yeah, family, just listen, man. Uh you can get some free books, man. Put your baby's names in the chat. You can get some free books mailed to you. Um, really good quality books, and ain't no cheap stuff. About real events, real people, real times. You know what I'm saying? Man, you just don't know how important it is, family. It is really important, man. Hey, what you think,
Yeah, and those free books is regarding the children's book read. So don't get that confused with we're just gonna send you some books if you put your name in the chat. You know, uh, one of the videos or something. So that's totally relative to the children's book. And make sure you comment and go back and look at Jamie's last week demo. You brought up some really good points, man, to consider and give some attention to. And then remember that 5-year-old baby girl gonna be reading the first Sundays. That's impressive to me, right? So, I'm ready to get it. Hey, this is a nice build. Share the video, comment, subscribe, and let us know what you think, man. Peace.
Peace.